On a Friday, extending declines from Thursday's session, more weakness coming through in semiconductor land. Nvidia specifically leading to the downside so far this morning. A couple of noteworthy economic releases coming up this morning to be aware of. Starting at 9:45, we'll get the S&P Global Composite PMI number. The more important typically is going to be the Conference Board's leading index at 10 o'clock. Just a heads up on that as well. Both, again, 9:45 and then 10 o'clock, some existing home sales coming through as well. But yeah, that's the way Thursday ended, basically at the lows down here. We chopped around for the last hour or so back and forth, but ended the day basically at the lows. We're gapping further to the downside this morning. As I mentioned, mostly in part to this. There's Nvidia. You can see what's leading the market. It looks very similar to the Qs here. Another gap to the downside this morning through 130. Important level there for Nvidia as retracement continues. I was noticing this morning, if you zoom out here onto a daily chart, that's an ugly candle. A bit of a reversal candle, to say the least, there on the daily chart to start things off on a Friday morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you as well. Nvidia now red on the week. Bit of a looking doji candle, maybe a candle of indecision on the weekly chart. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Year-to-date gains, obviously 164%. Great day for Nvidia. Lots to talk about today. Apple raising the price target on, Bernstein raising the price target on Apple. Amazon coming up overnight saying they're going to make changes to Alexa. That's a welcome change. And Bitcoin sees another day of net outflows yesterday, Brendo.
Yeah, downside this morning as well. I was noticing some of the equities under a little bit of pressure here. Yeah, that Apple move is interesting. I don't know. Would you pay monthly for Alexa?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have it on my phone.
Like, they're going to have to do something so significant to make that worth some sort of monthly charge. But it's never made money.
No.
So they have to do something.
And they've lost money on it consistently. And so they've tried to use it as another prop for other industries and hasn't done that well.
Yeah. Higher here, though, this morning. I mean, it's flat. But that's how Amazon ended the day yesterday, right at 186. I mean, it's been pretty sideways here going all the way back to the end of April, I guess, beginning of May for Amazon. So we'll see what happens this morning. Happy Friday. Obi back in for Neil as he babysits his cast for another day. Poor Neil, man. That sucks.
What's going on, guys? How you doing, Sean?
How you doing, Obi?
Good. Yourself?
Good, not too bad, not too bad. I was looking at Amazon myself here as well, but it's a nice little Friday. Good weather outside. Sad that Neil's not here, but happy that you're here, of course. And yeah, he'll get to kick his feet up a little bit, and he'll be back here on Monday, and it should be lots of fun then. So, no, we're excited. There's a rebalancing happening today, so that should be. I'll just putting that on the note. It should create a lot of action early and late in these markets. We have the imbalance locator up right now already, like 2 million shares to sell here on a stock like Walmart. Wow, Walmart $68. That's really performing well. JP Morgan, a lot of names already on here. And these are just the New York names with lots of volume. Wow, Walmart, $68. That name, ever since we split off at 60, boom, with that earnings report, that's been a great stock there, Walmart. Okay, Coca-Cola. Anyways, wait till you start seeing the NASDAQ names that are going to come through today. We know that Apple, and we talked about this earlier on in the week with XLK, with Apple and Nvidia having to be reweighted a little bit as well. And then, yeah, just supposed to be a monster day for volume. So, with the market at all-time highs, there's going to be some kind of reweighting happening, especially with the mega caps really doing most of the lifting. So, should be fun. We'll wait to see 925. Do not... Up to you. But I'm not, Obi, putting out any bids or offers here until I actually see what these movements are. I have levels written down that I want to look at, but the thing is, if a 3 million buy for Apple hits at 925 or sell, you're going to get that reaction right away. And if it floats into a level that you like, maybe you take it. But I don't know where the extension is going to come from, so I'm just going to wait, give it a couple seconds off the open, let this market calm down, but really be excited to get back into it.
Yeah, same. I'm like, I mean, I guess you're familiar with how I like to trade the open. Now it's just like I'm gonna continue to do more of the same. Kind of wait to see how things react off of the open. We know that again today is rebalancing, so the 925 number is going to be interesting for sure. But yeah, I got Nvidia and Apple on watch. We saw the craziness that Nvidia instilled into the markets yesterday. A nice little wash of this 20,000 mark as well. We're back down to 20,000. on the NQ. So yeah, it should be an interesting day today. And we got our first super chat already from Donnie Zimbabwe here. Morning, Sean and Obi. Send Neil my hopes for a speedy recovery. Will do. I'm going back on CRM. That was a sleeper for yesterday and still 50s off the highs. Yes, Donnie, we were talking about CRM this morning. I was like, that's distinctly different in terms of the price action that had. Definitely a sleeper, definitely on watch. One of the names on my in-play list for sure on the day, but again, a little overshadowed by some of these chip names like Nvidia, AMD, TSM. Surprisingly, Dell as well as of late has had some interesting moves.
Yeah, Dell had the move with the racks and everything from Elon. So he was talking about that on
racks on racks.
Yeah, racks on racks on racks. Yeah, he was. But it actually broke through 150. So we actually, I don't know if it was yesterday we had this trade. Maybe it was yesterday or the day before. It got up to 156 early in the morning. Yeah, so it was yesterday. So big news there. Fell back into that 150, and we were surprised as you know what to get that 150, went all the way back up, and then eventually we were able to stay positive on it. But then it lost that 150 with everything else and down into 144, 145. So actually, this is probably a really good day two play. Not day two, but I mean, it was already at those highs of 160. Nice fall back in there. Almost $20 actually on Dell. I'm a little nervous here because of that big candle, and I have Nvidia written down as a sell higher than where we are now. I mean, I want to see this get going. Again, it's supposed to be rebalanced upside for the XLK. Looking to see if we can get into 133, 134 here for Nvidia, but this is going to do tons of volume again, man. Already 8 million shares with tons coming through. So, yeah, excited for Nvidia today and for Dell, and then to see what happens with AMD the last little while. Man, AMD has been on a run too. Yesterday had a $10 move right off the open. Like what you talk about CRM, Donnie Zimbabwe. This is something very similar. 156 up to 166. I mean, that's an insane move right there. What's up, Randy?
Yo. Happening.
Sure, I could take one. This one's getting a little cold.
I got mine right here. Thank you. I just got mine.
But that is that. Do you have the same shirt on as your warning? No. No, hit it again. Let me see. Right.
Okay.
All right. Not even close.
Similar. Close.
Yeah. Ramin's never wrong, apparently, Randy. Oh, man. Good luck to her significant other.
Damn.
All right, let's go back over to the desk before I get in more trouble.
It's just like in a robot that you can just talk to.
Like, speak for me.
Here's Bitcoin downside this morning, as we were saying, through 64. Tried to hold very briefly, but you can see if you go back, what is that, May, I guess. 64 was a bit of a pivot. We're through that now. 63,500 coming into play. So yeah, equities related downside as well here in the pre-market. I mean, the market itself, obviously, under a little bit of pressure. That's Hertz, HTZ. We haven't talked about it for quite some time. There was an offering. What was it? It was $1 billion notional in senior notes, secured senior notes. So bit of a move after the close yesterday as a result of that. But yeah, I mean, Hertz under a lot of pressure here.
It is, Brendo. $1 billion debt offering to improve liquidity. $750 million of that is going to be first lien notes. $250 million are going to be exchangeable notes. They're going to close on the 28th of this month. Listen to this, though. The interest paid here semi-annually, 12.625%. That sounds very deep. The maturity date for this goes all the way into 2029, Brendo. So a bit of a tougher look for them after they sold all their Tesla fleet.
Yeah, I was just trying to see when, it's still a while out. It's August, the next time they report earnings. So we actually just heard from them back in May. So, I mean, upside here, there is a little bit of a short interest on this as well. So might be worth a watcher, guys. Not doing a heck of a lot here so far pre-market.
I haven't really looked at Hertz at all, but yeah, why is it? I mean, Brendan just mentioned it going down here. I was just dealing with something else here. Did you want to take Hertz?
Sure, no worries. We kind of remember Hertz
Was he braiding his beard?
A couple of years ago there. The euphoric action that we had in 2020. And oh boy, does this really hurts to the downside? Fading off quite extensively. We're in the $3 market now. This thing's had a bit of an adventure as well. I know they moved over to the pinks for a while, and now they're back on the DAC. And yeah, so a little bit of a strong volume off of that notes offering, strong trend. Excuse me, strong trend happening off of these, off of this 5.
Have a sip of water, man. Have
Sorry,
a sip
excuse
of
me.
water.
Yeah. Let me just.
Yeah, look, when you go down to the, we talked about that, them going down to the pinks and then coming right back. I remember when Carl Icahn actually liquidated his position under $1, in and around $1 on HTZ, only to see it come all the way back to where it was right there. Did you, we could go back to that too, but Bitcoin too, 64,000 right now.
Yeah, you
trying
were
to break a
saying
lot lower there. If you look at a stock like an iBit or something, as that continues to make moves lower, it's like, uh-oh, we're gonna have to find out what's going on with some of these crypto spots now, because this is not good. I mean, under the 50 period, if the NASDAQ loses steam, I mean, I said this last week, it's like, if the NASDAQ loses a little bit of bid here, I feel like Bitcoin will lose a lot of a bid. So I'm going to be looking to see if we can pick something up around $35 or so. I don't think we're going to get that down there today, but for right now, it's been a nice, if you're bearish anyways, or you're looking to buy some dips, you're going to get an opportunity here. You've got 10 days here with just a couple on the upside. So that's not been good. And then Ethereum, ever since we sort of got, I guess, that talk of the approval there for the ETFs later on this summer, which is now midway through, nice bump up right there, kind of holding out as well, looking to break back below 3,300. So we'll watch. That's nice. That's back to 35 right here. So some names moving around there in the cryptoverse today as well. But was there a trade on Hertz or no? You're just looking at the chart.
Well, as Brendo mentioned, it does have a bit of a short flow, and then it's getting volume with that offering. And yeah, you can see yesterday it was doing some decent RVol, maybe a potential break of this trend. Let's see today if it kind of continues. That's the only thing that I would be watching on this ticker. But it is doing volume. It did show up on my morning scans this morning, so I did write it down. It is the second name on my in play list today. Hertz, but yeah, again, not necessarily priority with the rest of the stuff that's going on in the market, but I think that if we can kind of break some of these levels and get a little euphoric, then we might get involved. But again, if there's anything I'm really looking for is to see if that short float plays any significant part in today's price action. Yeah.
Just another super chat here from Donnie Zimbabwe. He says, "Hey Sean, what's up? CRM saved his loss on the Qs. You want to make sure he said his 5K loss there. So, all right, so he's trading with bigger shares there. I'm also, whoa, geez.
Yeah, that was a little.
Ramin, are we okay? Like, just blasted that in my ear. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that you got to turn that mic way down, way down. Love you, hoping for that 133 on Nvidia. Same as me, so I'd be hoping for that print today on Nvidia. I'm not long or short. I mean, I'm long in the long term, Donnie, on Nvda, but great call on CRM yesterday as that name keeps battling back. It's funny that Palantir gets downgraded today on news of like, SaaS and all the CRM worries and things like that. And then obviously CRM yesterday goes straight up to the upside. Nvidia is going to be doing millions and millions of shares today. I do think that we can get back into this 132, 133 area. So I'm with you, Mr. Zimbabwe, for that short. I'll be working on the sticky note as we go back over the desk with Mr. Noss and company.
Yeah, there he is. Friday morning. Let's get to look at a few things. And I love the fact that you brought this morning, Mr. Noss. Happy Friday, by the way.
Happy Friday.
It's one of those things it's so easy to get stuck looking at the big names over and over and over and over and over again because they're in the news, they're moving, lots of volatility, lots of volume every single day. Yeah. That said, there's other areas of the market that are worth paying attention to. One of the scans that you can get on Trade Ideas brought to your attention, it would appear, anyways, silver once again popping its head up.
Yeah, the gold's crazy cousin, as I like to call it, is back in the news. And you're 100% right, Brendan, where it's very easy to go, okay, what's Nvidia doing? What's Apple doing? What's Microsoft doing? Just over and over and over again. And that's great. And it's rewarding traders right now. There will be a moment where it doesn't, right? There will be a moment where these names either stop going up and just move sideways for a period of time or, correct a little bit. And what we do at Trade Ideas and what we focus on is looking, where most people aren't and trying to have scans that are saying, okay, we know Nvidia is going up all the time, but what else is happening? And if Nvidia pulls back or sells off a little bit, that money is going to go somewhere, and we're just, again, always trying to figure out where's the next place that this market is going to rotate into. So the scan that I have is actually TI strength. So this is a relative strength scanner that I built myself, and we back tested on about 10 years of market data, showing that owning these names will, over the long run, not in the short term, but over the long run, help outperform the market. And what we started to get from it, even though we didn't design it on purpose, was themes. So all the blue arrows that you see on this are pointing to different silver miners, silver ETFs. So as I'm going through this scan last night, I'm saying, wow, there's a lot of silver going on here. I was wrapped up with a lot of the big tech names, so I didn't even notice that silver broke out. So the first chart I have here is just the SLV chart. So just showing silver on the move a little bit yesterday. So we had a pullback in the market. We had a pullback in Nvidia and some of these big names. But then silver, you can see, actually gapped up and ran all day long. I just highlighted that, it became oversold. The last time it became oversold, when it's in this trend and breaking out of this long-term base, you can see on that monthly chart, it's had a nice push higher from about 22.5 to $30, which again for silver and for a commodity is a pretty good move. Pulled back again, became oversold, gapped up yesterday. So I wonder if this is going to continue. So what I did is, from that scan that's giving me all these silver names, I just picked the top one that actually looked nice, and it was showing that this is the most relatively strong name in the market and the relatively strong name in the silver sector, and that is a CDE, Coeur Mining. I probably butchered that. What's interesting is this nice weekly chart with this, smiley face I talk about all the time. I've been trained to buy smiley faces and sell frowny faces. The pink line is just the anchored VWAP from that major high that happened all the way up around $10 or so a share. Currently, we're trading at about $6. That would be a crazy gain for something as calm as a silver trade. When you have, if we were to get back to that high, so we have that anchored VWAP from that all-time high. That looks great, and a nice smiley face here. The next chart gets us into the daily chart, and you can just see that we are consolidating nicely. This is a very typical, normal flag pattern you'll see on daily charts, you'll see on intraday charts. It shows that we've hit $6 a share 2 or 3 times, and we've kind of pulled back from that $6 a share. So for me, I think that that's going to be the trade. The last chart I have is just the 30-minute chart, just kind of zooming in on that $6 area. So you can see each day that we hit $30, we pulled off it about 3 days or so in a row. So for me, I want to see some sort of action, time taking place, or distance from that $6, something that's proving to me that the market's finally made it through that overhead supply. Nice $6 break. And the thing I love about this trade is that lower line is going to be my stop loss, which is about 525. So the idea is that we're looking for areas that, if the market in the big tech is going to sell off or even just calm down and move sideways for a period of time, where is that money going to flow to? This relative strength scanner is showing that that could be silver, and then this CDE could be an interesting mining company in that sector.
We're going to get the question, but if anybody wants that scan, first of all, go scan that QR code that's on screen right now. Get 20% off Trade Ideas, and then let everyone know where they can get their hands on that actual scan.
Yeah, so if you're already a Trade Ideas member, we actually have a channel built for this scan because we put so much time into it, and it's back tested, so it's proven. It's just called the Trade Ideas Swing Picks channel because it's picking swing traders as opposed to day traders. You can find that. You could also just reach out to myself. You can see all the Twitter and all of that around, or just email info@trade-ideas.com, and there'll be a whole bunch of people there ready to get you that scan. And if you're not a Trade Ideas subscriber, again, use that QR code, use TraderTV20 for 20% off there at checkout.
Mr. Noss, have a wonderful weekend. Has it been insanely hot in the down east this week as well?
Yeah, we broke, yesterday was the hottest day on record for us anytime in June, July, but it's raining outside today. The winds shifted and everything's kind of calmed down. So hopefully, knock on wood, we're through it here.
Yeah, a little thick around here for the weekend. I think it's supposed to rain for the next 4 days or something. Great stuff. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll speak again on Monday.
Talk to you Monday.
All right, thank you, Michael. And it's always good to diversify your portfolio and looking at different names like Wow. As I was talking about diversifying portfolio, I go right over to Nvidia here because it's starting to go lower, lower, lower right now, looking to break 128. But no, thanks, Michael, for all that. I mean, looking at silver, I've thought about, I haven't invested in any gold or silver my whole life. And I don't know, it looks technically, I mean, like we were just breaking down there, there's that 50-period moving average, bounced off it on the daily chart, Ramin, if you can, right there. So that was a great move up to 28 bucks. So I do like that for sure. There was the COMX, they don't have it on here, it's an ETF. And then we had, of course, GLD and then GDX. I've always looked at GDX a little bit as a gold miners, so just to get a little bit more interest in what the companies are doing rather than the gold itself, but still nice pullbacks in, and where you found some support down here at $33, $34. So, maybe a name like a Barrick Gold where you can get a little bit of a dividend as well, 3 to 4% on this name, I believe. I have to check the yield on it right now, but pretty steady as it goes, will reflect the price of gold as well. So Barrick and some of these equities are also looking pretty good at some of these levels. So yeah, I mean, I like that. Copper, FCX, another name there to get involved with. Lots of different ones to play. I don't know, you probably don't own any gold or anything, do you?
I mean, I think got some physical gold, but nothing in like ETFs or anything like that. But yeah, no, I can see. Just looking at the weekly chart here, it is extremely. I guess it's been in an extremely bullish trend here. Just slow trickle up. I remember what was it in 2020? We got some fresh highs, and then before you know it, by 2024, we're making some fresh highs as well. So yeah. Don't really have too much of an outlook on this one, other than the fact that the chart is extremely strong in the uptrend here.
Some interesting names here on the upgrade side, particularly kicking off with Apple getting this price target increased from 195 to 240 from Bernstein here. Another mega cap name here, Microsoft getting this upgrade from Citibank. Nike getting this upgrade from Oppenheimer. They actually have earnings next week, so NKE could certainly be an interesting one here. 120 price target, up more than 1% in the pre-market thus far. Palo Alto Networks ending things off here on the upgrade side with a 380 price target here in upgrade from DA Davidson. The downgrade side, Palantir down about 3% right now in the pre-market with this downgrade from Manes Crespi and Hart, basically saying that there are some concerns about that entire industry as a whole. You can check out the watch list for more notes on this analyst take. We also have Northrop Grumman getting a downgrade from Bernstein, Ryanair getting a downgrade from Barclays, and last but not least, CME Group getting this downgrade from Morgan Chase. Kind of interesting look here, guys.
I like, so I mean, all those names, but great, just messaging my wife something here. I like all the names on that list. I mean, I feel like we're going to talk about Microsoft, we're going to talk about Apple, we're going to talk about there was a big one on the downgrade side as well over there. One name that we don't really trade too much, but again, CrowdStrike, we'll talk about the rebalance tonight. They're going to be added as well. Palo Alto getting some nice bumps. Holding the 50 period real well right there. Any drips down into 300, I think is a great little look there. 290 and change. I mean, I like this name. We bought dips down here at 260. We didn't take advantage the last time. It ripped up to 340, 350 almost immediately after that earnings call. Came back in, tested again, and just wants to hold higher. So, we got some lower levels there, and now that support has changed into 290, 295. So again, a nice little upgrade there for Palo Alto. And then the big name that I feel like will pull back now, especially after the addition, you get a lot of tailwinds. I mean, me and Obi were talking about this. I wonder if some of the action was done over the last couple days, anticipating, this is a huge move when they got great earnings. They announced the addition into the S&P 500. So everything, this is earnings here, by the way. It went down to 272 right there this day. Then it started to go. Then you get the addition into the S&P 500, and then you just start to break highs. It's a great trade. It's still got to hold this 370. So I think you have an opportunity for this to dip back into 370 in the next couple days. That would be interesting to see. But yeah, we saw Uber pull back a little bit after it was included. We saw Tesla pull back as well. CrowdStrike could be vulnerable for that just because of the huge move it's had.
Yeah, no.
Anything you saw?
I guess I was looking at CrowdStrike as well. We were talking about that. Micron I like as well. A little bit similar action to to Nvidia, of course. But yeah, no, CrowdStrike, I definitely want to talk about that one. We were talking about this in the morning. Again, with the S&P ad coming up, and I think another one is KKR, which is another big one on the list there. But yeah, we got some strong selling off yesterday, again, along with the rest of the market, but seems to hold some of these prior lows there, which is a little bit distinctly different than some of the other things that did sell off as they broke multi-day lows. Again, you're looking back at Micron, you can see that. Look at that. We broke like a few days worth of lows, and yeah, of course, Nvidia as well, a few days worth of lows. But KKR, I think, was the other ad, and no real sell-off on that one there. So yeah, I got some few names on watch today off of that list. Yeah.
All right, a few other things of note here. I just saw that Cavill Brands downside in a pretty big way here. It's down 13%. There's a lot of little ones moving around this morning. BTTR, another one under pressure, down about 20% this morning. MINM, that's our minimum.
I remember that one.
Remember minimum? Higher so far on decent volume, 2.5 million worth of volume. But I mean, it's going to be about semiconductors again today. I mean, we just finished that segment with Michael Noss talking about trying to find other opportunities. But at the end of the day, the market is moving because this is just the SMH. On a weekly chart, it's looking a little bit reversal-esque. This week ended the same, maybe a little bit stronger than what we are right now, but did lead to that pullback going back into May that came back into $200 there. For the SMH, obviously, we went on to get right through to $300. So. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, still half a day left here, so most of the day left.
Yeah, kind of what we alluded to at the beginning of the show there, that the Nvidia, anyway, not the SMH, kind of was a bit of a topping tail candle on the weekly chart. It's red on the week. BofA Securities analyst Vivek Arya actually commented on this today with a $150 price target on Nvidia, but he had some cautionary tone that in the article. He was basically saying that he expected profit taking at these levels and that there could be some weakness while money cycled into other areas of the economy. We'll have to see if that actually manifests or not. But Brendo, Nvidia still negative on the week.
Yeah, here's another one that's gone red on the week. Micron now downside as well. Ugly weekly candle forming on Micron. If you remember at the beginning of the week, we were talking about this one to the upside with, I think it was 2 days in a row that we had positive analyst moves, some price target increases, and positive talk anyways. Now red and then some to the tune of 2.6%. The thing that's catching my eye is down here. It's on decent volume here as well. So Nvidia gets to, the biggest market cap company in the world, and maybe the start of a bit of a sell-off here.
I'm pretty sure Nvidia will be on there for sure, so we can talk about that now. Well, we can talk about Nvidia now. Look, there's that. We talked about it before, the whole XLK thing. I don't know. When the market's at all-time highs, people are gonna. Yeah, I can't look at the market here. Let me bring down Nvidia over here. When the market's at these highs, you're gonna get nervous hands, And I mean, just. There it is. Brendan sort of talked about that with SMH and everything. Now you're going to be down a little bit more here on Nvidia with this big candle. I mean, it looks very similar on Micron as well. Just trying to give it all back. This is a huge move from 140, basically 141, 140 into this 130 area. It's just covering up the week though, realistically. So I'm still looking at that little gap fill area. So we can probably go to a 20-minute chart now. Just wanted to show you how extended, obviously, Nvidia was on the daily. We already know all about that. But there's going to be a gap fill down here that we're trying to do right now. Our charts still don't represent the split. Anyways, it's down into here like 123, 124. It's just right there. I'm wondering if this is maybe where we stop. If we do get an extension to the downside, it's not even really a gap. It's just we didn't spend that much time here. Like it went from 122 to 123 to 124 to 125 and only back tested 124. So I just kind of want to see if we hold in and around this area. So I could see that Nvidia winds up falling another $4 or $5 today. I think that's possible. It's not out of line to get a move like that. Literally will happen $4 or $5 in the first 1 minute today. Like I think that once we get that imbalance that's going to hit at 925, you're going to see Nvidia absolutely like off the open, if that number is a couple million shares, I really think that people will pile on to that number and just continue with whatever way it is. So let's wait to 925. But this move, once we lost 140, went all the way down to 135, and that did not take very long at all. We were long and then we were short. Nvidia was Meta was our number one name yesterday, but Nvidia was number two. We hit the long off this 138. We really liked it, right? But then all of a sudden the tides changed and we were able to go short. And we were able to go short again and then short again. And the short basically printed all day and then closing at the lows of 130 again, Obi. So I'm thinking like Nvidia, and I know you're gonna talk about Micron. So yep. I think 130 is gonna be a key level. But for me to put on shares, like to be more confident, let's get it up into this 133, 134 area of last afternoon. So keep forgetting what day it was, but now I remember yesterday. Doesn't it feel weird when you have the midday holiday? Oh, how was golf? Did you guys go?
No, I think some of the other guys went.
Okay, some of the other guys went. I wasn't sure about the weather.
It was a hot day, but
yeah,
I think they had a great time, yeah.
But anyways, 130 I think is an area that we could start looking at, but for me, I'll wait for 133 to sort of see if that comes first.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at very similar levels on Nvidia. And yeah, speaking of a gap fill here, Sean, take a look at this weekly chart and look at this gap. This gap all the way down now. Pre-market levels are testing not prior day low, but like, what is this? This is Monday low, so weekly low right here. I have at 139.65. The gap fill doesn't necessarily happen until 134, so about a point or so. About a few points there to the downside here. Now we can go down to a shorter time frame and see what that action really entails, including the pre-market and after-hour data there. As you can see, a little bit of a shelf right there, prior week high. We come down into it in the pre-market. We're trading at 140, so we did kind of break in through this week's lows right here, this week's lows right there, and then we are attempting to maybe get down to here. Let's see if again market tailwind determining. Let's see if this trend from yesterday kind of continues here on the chips. I'll definitely be watching Nvidia, Micron, and of course, again, AMD looking a little bit different. We were talking about this one earlier as well.
But distinctly different?
Distinctly different.
Yeah, I just took a short at Nvidia here with...
there. But some defined levels nonetheless, 163s, end-of-day consolidation highs here on the 15-minute chart. You can see there was a lot of action happening there in the morning as well. So let's see what we do in and around this area on AMD, but definitely Nvidia is the top of my list today. Yeah,
I'm in. So I'm in Nvidia now. This happened to me yesterday. Remember where we went long early, and then it wound up tanking, but the long was still fine. Yep. I'm not going to hold this past 128.50. I just want to get started now on it. I don't know. We'll take an early dollar club hit or so if it goes back up, but we'll just play with this here a little bit, play with the food, and see what winds up happening because I don't know. I don't like this early movement here, down 2.5% with the NASDAQ up here. If the NASDAQ continues to fall down, maybe we do get something. Remember, we are looking for 925. Right now, we have all these imbalances, but they're all they're all New York names. NASDAQ will hit at 925, and I think it'll be a sell for Nvidia. I know it's supposed to be reweighted higher. I just, I'm not impressed with what happened yesterday and think that we could get a big sell coming through here as well. So we're short at 64. Look, there it is, man. We're 20 cents in the money now. Starting to go lower. I do have a bid at 35s. Let's go. Hit that 35. If it stops at 35, Obi, it just printed 36s. Did you see that? Let's see if it...
Well...
Okay, it's going to hit it anyways. There's so much volume, but that was funny that it stopped on my bid. All right, so here it is. Early position, early trade alert now with Nvidia, 20 cents in the money, although it just bounced off our 30-cent take profit target. But I still feel like we'll get it. So, all right, back over to the desk.
Yeah, potentially some follow through to come here. Let's get into it. We'll start things off, as always, with a look at the market on this Friday witching day.
55.44, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday. The overnight high, that clean 55.50. To the downside, let's say we're going to use that consolidation area support, previous resistance, now support, 55.25. To the high side, if we can break 55.50, then we can use it as support. Until we break it, though, it's going to be resistance.
Yeah, more downside right now, in fact, for Nvidia. If you haven't done so yet, go to the website, tradertv.live, wait for the pop-up, enter your email address, and then you get the watch list delivered right to your inbox every single day. Has everything you need to know on it. In the pre-market, Nvidia top of the list this morning, as it should be after that Very weak end to yesterday. That is the daily chart right now. So pretty ugly candle forming yesterday on the daily chart. The weekly chart, as we saw, even worse. Now 2.5% to the downside. They picked up this, I mean, it's a minor acquisition, Shoreline.io, $100 million for a software company.
Yeah, in addition to that, Brendo, B of A security analyst Vivek Arya maintaining a buy rating and a price target of $150 on Nvidia. Reasons for the optimism include continued growth in the deployment of the AI, upcoming launch of their Blackwell chip slated to be released next year, and increasing revenue from software, their CUDA software, and all the other derivatives. Still thinks that there may be some short-term profit taking, though.
Yeah, including right now, possibly, for Nvidia, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about it? I mean, we just
covered it.
We're covered. I mean, right now we're 30, 40, 50 cents in the money on this Nvidia short. I sort of said my piece there. Anything to add? Ooh, I like that little slurpy slurp action.
Nice little slurp.
What you got for us?
Yeah, no. Again, looking for that continuation. Sean pointed out a couple levels that he's watching. I definitely vibe with that. I'm watching the 133s as well. Kind of this consolidation low at the 130. This pre-market highs as well, making lower lows and lower highs. So I do like the idea for a continuation to the downside. Again, being a little bit extended on the daily. Let's see how far we can get. Something to note as well. I know that Brendo was pointing out earlier that looking like a bit of a topping candle here, quite distinct, engulfing prior day. Haven't really had a candle like this since I guess in and around here. You can see that strong engulf of prior day's candles right there. But something to note as well, we were doing about, what is this? After post-split, sure, earnings, you have this strong bar here that did over 665 million shares traded, that's post-split adjusted. But yeah, yesterday we did 500 million, just over 500 million shares traded on Nvidia, which is distinctly different than prior weeks. Going off the split as well. So something to note, high volume candle, strong selling all day long. With again, if you were around for that market flush, very, very aggressive throughout the board there. So I'm just looking for that continuation. Pre-market, we're already trading at 127.5. So yeah, we were talking about that gap fill that's happening. It might even happen in the pre-market. Let's wait and watch. That 125 might be interesting as well if we can actually make it down there. But yeah, potential continuation. If not, then yeah, we got levels to the upside as well. Prior day consolidation highs right there at that 133 halves. We can kind of make it back up. Let's see if we can reclaim some of those levels and if the selling was temporary or not. That's what I got on watch.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I was just gonna say, because we talked about Nvidia a little bit here, so we only got out of a third. It's right back to where we got in. So if you guys like that trade, you can get it again. We just didn't want to have too much FOMO on missing that move down, and it looks like we'll take a third out there. We could wind up losing on that trade. 128.50 is going to be our out. Look, not all stocks are the same. We talk about that all the time. And in a name that has been going sort of oppo here, and that is AMD. I mean, we had thought that AMD was the weak one and Nvidia was the strong one. Well, right now it looks like a little bit of a rotation, which kind of makes sense to me. AMD is nowhere near its highs, like not even close. Meanwhile, so this is like basically where Nvidia is right now, and this is where AMD is. So, you know, I could see a little bit of a rotation as people will sell off Nvidia, hoping that this happens, and then AMD can pick it back up, right? So pick up some of the scraps that are left over and just rotating from one name into another. It's kind of like one is just so extended, possibly, and the other one is like at or under the 50-period moving average. So it does make sense that if AMD wants to continue to go upside, it's its own story, but more attached to what people are doing to Nvidia. I think once the selling stops in Nvidia, then you're not going to be wanting to buy AMD anymore. It's an interesting sort of thing. I'm going to be looking only at Nvidia, and we sort of made that proclamation, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and we said that as soon as this splits, we wanted to definitely look over here. The volume's been insane on Nvidia, and I'm just going to keep looking here. But to me, the minute Nvidia starts going back up, I feel like we could start to look to short AMD. But I'm going to start that kind of, thinking. more like on Monday. I want to see after these rebalances, see what winds up happening today, and just trade the biggest name around, and that's Nvidia, and that's going to be Apple. We'll push AMD to the side unless there's some sort of an outsized move over there that will probably fade. And I got the mean reversion guy over here, so we'll be able to see if there's anything happening. All of that. All right, Mark L says in the chat, what is Apple's price target increase? Well, conveniently, that's the next topic. So Sharif or Brendan will be discussing the Apple price target increase.
Relatively strong, in fact, right now, pre-market 0.82 currently to the upside, testing at 212.50 area once again. Yeah, it's Bernstein with lots of positivity or lots of positive comments to say about Apple surrounding AI once again. 240. $30 to the upside here, according to Bernstein. I mean, you and I were just saying, I mean, it'd be nice to get a test of 205, 200, that key area on a higher time frame. But I mean, there's a good chance maybe the market just kind of chops around here for a while.
Yeah, that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. I agree with that. It would be nice for the key technical level to get tested, that is that 200 level. Go and have a look at the Apple daily chart. We almost triple topped there over the last year. But with respect to Bernstein, a $45 price increase from where they had it last to 240, as Brendel mentioned, maintaining their outperform. They mentioned that it's outperformed the S&P by 13% since it reported Q2 earnings. Investor enthusiasm, obviously, here with respect to the supercycle, the anticipated supercycle of the iPhone 16 with the new AI features. We'll have to see here, Brendel, but this analyst also pointed out that some of the AI features may take a while to deploy, so they may be ready for the 17, not the 16.
Just seeing a note here on, just quickly on American Express as well. They've agreed to acquire Talk for $400 million from Squarespace. That's according to Bloomberg. For AXP, not really doing anything on that, but heads up again. American Express acquiring Talk for $400 million from Squarespace. Interesting.
What is it? AXP nicely off the bottom there, off a nice little decline, and you just saw the daily chart there, a couple moves back up to the upside. Look, I wrote down Apple there on the sticky note, and I was just looking at a level that I thought was pretty cool. We got to get to 50,000 subscribers here, but I just wrote down 212. And I thought that there's the rebalance happening tonight and this morning. Could move lower, past support there, turns resistance. So I was just looking at 212. So if you're going to look at, go find the sticky note. There's some more notes there. But this is what it is right here. So this was support, I thought, right here, 212, right? Basically just goes back a week and a bit. And then we broke. So for right now, that break was great. Brought you all the way down into 210, and then you just faded around 210, 209 yesterday. We had, again, Apple was a good stock for us. We shorted it in the afternoon, and it worked out for us. So I feel like we want to just go back to that well. So this is the short that we had yesterday in Apple into the closing show. Must have been 210, 216, something like that. And all these lines have changed. So I think it was off the 200 period. But now you get this upgrade, and it just comes right back into 212. So I want to test this level, but again, we're not trying to. We're in Nvidia, but we're in it pretty small. If Apple does get a bump up, and again, in 10 minutes, we're going to see these imbalances. Our research has told us that Apple's going to get down-weighted, Nvidia is going to get up-weighted. So that, to me, is something that we want to make sure that we try to watch out for. But as Obi noted to me earlier, some of that move may have already been included here. So, but then I said to him, well, then if Nvidia is being up-weighted, then that move definitely hasn't been included, because that was the biggest red candle for Nvidia yesterday in a very, very long time. So I wonder if it's just also, we're just getting exhausted up here. Yeah. The buyers don't want to push the buy button right now. Yeah. And it's just like, we're already long Nvidia, we're already long Apple, and we're not long AMD. You know what I mean? Like some of these names that haven't been performing well, that's where they're trying to catch that relative pickup back to grab the percentage points that have been left on the table. Meanwhile, sell the ones that have been performing really well and get your money into the weaker names, because at the end of the day, the NASDAQ is just so strong that I think you want to pick up names that are maybe lagging behind. And Apple and Nvidia over the last 2 weeks have really been leading. So this move up 1% is great. It's great for the Apple Bulls, and I am definitely one of those. So, we're not going to try to go too macro here. Let's just see the price action. I think 240 is fine. I have no problem with that. I think the super cycle is coming. I don't want to even sell any of my Apple shares. But for today, we do have sort of the quad witching, and just let's hold tight on all of our ideas. But I am definitely looking at 212. I wrote down short. If you think long, then I think it's the same kind of play. Let it break through, then use it as support. For now, I'm using it as resistance.
Yeah, no, I like that as well. I like this 213 mark as well. The close off of this strong selling that we had. We know that we had a couple days of strength after the WWDC event last Monday there, and then look at that. The selling comes in very, very aggressively and then kind of stops there, and we chop and churn and kind of use that 213 level as a bit of an orbit, as a bit of a support at an attempt at the all-time highs once again. So yeah, if Apple can kind of come back into this 213 going off into the open, maybe I'll look for that support turn resistance. I do like the 212 look as well. If we can't even make it to 213, 212 is even better. So I definitely agree with Sean on that one. Aggressive selling right off of the open yesterday, off of that 214 as well. So some strong action off of some key levels there, recent key levels. Again, we are pretty close to all-time highs, and I think again, with the ticker being as extended as it is, I think it's fair enough to take a little bit of a breather, and we saw some of that over the past couple of days with Apple getting sold off for the past couple of days. But yeah, with that rebalancing happening, maybe we can see that buying sentiment potentially come in during the day or even going closer into the close today. But yeah, no, that sell-off on Nvidia yesterday might have just been a discount for the buys. Who knows, right?
I mean, I think
it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. But without doing that, you have been to Alberta. Right here. Thanks, Sean. So he says, thanks for the sticky note here. I don't know the name. ES355 Lucille right there. Thanks, Sean. Alberta following every day. Love to Alberta right there. And go Oilers tonight. Yay Sports or?
Go Sports.
You won't be watching hockey tonight, I don't think, will you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, big game tonight as the Edmonton Oilers looking to go. They were down 3-0. Then they won 8-1. They won game 5. So now it's 3-2 back to Edmonton.
Okay.
And then they're looking to, what just happened to Nvidia right there? Did I put the wrong, oh no, okay. All right, I'm gonna get out of this because it's just what just happened there, it can happen. So we got a dark pool wick, which just stopped me out and pushed me long because I was gonna average in up here. Oh man, okay. Let's just, let me just get out of all this Nvidia trade. So we were short Nvidia. We just had a dark pool wick all the way to the upside. Let's just take this out. We're long 85. It looks like it will turn out to be a winner here if we get printed. We're just sitting there at 95. But again, so just in case those of you that are trading here at Real Trading, let me just show you what just happened there. So I put in a spot that if this breaks 128.50, which was view up, I wanted to get out of my trade. So it thinks it broke it there. And I don't know, it didn't happen on e-signal chart. So it was just a dark pool that got wicked up there. So that's me getting out of that trade. You know what? I'm just going to take that as an omen. And we'll be positive on it, but it's kind of a fluke because we made lost 10 cents, made 10 cents. So let's just hold out now on this with all these dark pools coming around. I'm not going to take the risk. There's only now 20 minutes. Well, now 13 minutes and 8 minutes until the imbalances. So I'm going to wait on Nvidia, but that's just what happened to me there. So we were going to go short to 128.50, and the proof is in the pudding, man. My target got triggered, so we'll get out of this. Let's be hands off now to Nvidia and wait. All right, let's just keep going because we only have a couple minutes until these come out. So let's go talk about my favorite Palantir.
Downside this morning, almost 4% at the lows there, 24.60 coming back into play. New contract, it's only 19 million, but worth a note, but a downgrade this morning for PLTR.
Yeah, Analyst Brian White at Monet, Crespi, and Hardy. I hope I got that right. Basically lowering his rating from neutral from sell. From neutral to sell. I'll get this right. There we go. With a $20 price target, he sees the recent earnings report surprise as having been largely downbeat, disappointing outlook from industry leaders like Salesforce and Workday, and he believes the hype around generative AI in enterprise software specifically will slow down in the revenue growth in 2024. Brian.
The contract I was mentioning there is on the health services side. It's software-based, so data processing essentially for PLTR.
All right, so I wrote down, first of all, I never heard of these people that are upgrading or downgrading these guys, but it doesn't matter to me. Downgrading, but it just found itself landing into support in my opinion. So here we go again. we talked about it being at $26. If you're going to look at the daily chart here, we actually mentioned this breaking through 26 and coming back up into these highs again. So we already wicked this back in May. So sometimes the stock market and different names like patterns. And I mean, it feels like this top here at $26, $27 just right now wants to be the top. And I can understand that. I mean, it is a nice move up. We were just at $20 the beginning of the month. So for 20 to 26, up $6 on 20, you'll take that all the time, right? And I think that's what's happening here. They have to downgrade it. They're going to give a reason for that. They cited, I mean, we just talked about it there, sort of software as a service coming through with CRM, and then I forget the other name that was cited in that. But Palantir, at the end of the day, there's support. It's 200 period on the 20-minute. I like that. Here's 24 right there, again, 24.50. So I like some of these levels to see if we can hold it. When we blasted this, we didn't look back. So let's just see if it comes back in. You know, I could see it dripping into 24 as well, trying to top out right there. It's going to be a tough one today, especially if this market goes to the downside, and especially if we get a sell imbalance for PLTR. I don't know what the idea is there for this. It's not on. Oh, there it is, 400,000 shares. So it's on the sticky note to go long at 24.50. I don't think we'll put a bid early. Let's put a bid like maybe 24.25 and use that 24 as a bottom. I still like the stock. I'm not buying anymore at this level. Again, needs to breathe. Down 4%. I think it's a good buying opportunity.
Yeah, this one's been kind of on watch for me over the past few days, this whole week. Some strength coming up into the middle of the week, and something interesting to note is that earnings on when was this, on the evening of May 6th. That wick high, that earnings reaction high, is right at 26.30s, and pretty much yesterday's price action, I guess we technically lick grabbed that high, and then now we're getting some strong. We got some strong selling yesterday, and then we get a downgrade in the pre-market, which kind of draws out the chart even further off of that lick grab, and now we're selling back off. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching this 24. I like that price, Sean. And something else to note: this trend that we've been in for the past from the beginning of the month right here. So that's a little distinct as well. I think this is anchored from earnings as well. So we're trading below. This is prior earnings anchored. So let's do this real quickly. Throw that anchored in there off of that, and yeah, okay. So you see that the anchored is way lower there at 22.43. It would seem kind of a little bit in and around some of this base that we made for before making an attempt for this earnings reaction high that we did kind of lick grab off of. But this trend, I think we can pull back into that exactly. Look at that confluence right there of that 24 prior resistance. Let's see if that turns into support if Palantir continues to sell off today. Only about 70 pennies away from there.
All right, crypto time, downside as well with the overall market here. I mean, this is IBIT, but it follows the price for spot Bitcoin, 2.1% on the gap to the downside here for the ETF. We were just going over some of the outflows from Thursday. They're starting to stack up here a little bit. I mean, I feel like 140 million on the day yesterday. Not a huge number, but could be wrong. 4.2% there on the month now for this ETF. So nearing $1 billion going out the door on the week here for some of these ETFs.
Yeah, Brendo, to the tune of 900 million yesterday. If it has another bad day, it's probably going to break that billion mark. So the outflows haven't been even out of the specific ETFs. There's many. We'll mention three. Grayscales had the worst outflows, $53 million left GBTC yesterday. FBTC, which is Fidelity's spot ETF, had 51 million throughout. The best performer on the day was IBIT with only $1 million of net outflow. Some of the recent price drops can be attributed to large holder sales over $1 billion worth, the strengthening US dollar, Brendo, and strong performance of the US technology. So possibly money moving into that.
Yeah, I was just noticing Bitcoin making day lows basically as we speak. So is IBIT heading back towards session lows right now?
IBIT. I know you like that.
Oh, Serenity now. No, I mean, look at Nvidia.
Oh,
you know, the dark pool.
A little bit lower. Slightly lower.
Chart on. You know, there's that dark pool that got us out. Like we were trying to be short. You know, we actually should have got more short up there, but That should be a dollar winner off that level. But anyways, we were only short at 60s. We would have got more at that point. So it doesn't matter. But there it is. So Bitcoin coming. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we'll probably trade it. And Brendan already hit that IBIT. I think that's something that's important as well. All right. So this is a weekly chart. Let's go to a daily. We had the weekly up before just to show you that we still are at a pretty good level of interest here. It's not like the sky is completely falling, but when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight down days, it's not great, right? And that just gives us some bad feels about that. So yeah, Bitcoin definitely, I think it has a 60,000. Okay, shoot, man, that is the worst. All right, so there goes Nvidia, nice little downside move here, as we will check out those imbalances. So it is only 1 million to sell, but there's that little washout. So that's not even that many shares. I was expecting it to be a little bit more, 1.26 million right there. That's too bad because we did have this short, so it is a little bit infuriating. I don't know if you can tell that, but oh no, there it goes again. So Nvidia starting this move in. Not that many shares, but look at the paired off. It was 20 million at one point to sell. So this could get nasty right here, right off the open. End of the day about Bitcoin, we'll have it down here. I just feel like it's just like it went to 70, went to 73. I feel like it's going to go to 60, could go to 57, 58. Those are buying opportunities for me down there. I still believe in crypto long term, but at the same time, if you think the Nasdaq's coming back in, I would think that you'd want to fade crypto for now as well. So, oh man, I'm just a little bit like there about Nvidia because we definitely had that, and we should be in the money. We're up on it, but we should still have the short there. So. Oh man, that's disappointing, my guy. And then Apple.
There's going to be more opportunities, dude.
Thanks for saying that, Obi. I really appreciate that
and
positive
you're more
talk
than
there.
capable of capturing said opportunities.
Yes, we do.
What's the next trade?
Thank you, Obi, for saying that. We are more than capable of capturing many opportunities. But you know what else we wrote down? 212 on Apple. You know what the high was? 211.97. Apple's also coming back in right now. So, all right, Obi, give us the ones and twos on something here.
Yeah, so I got the weekly chart open here on the Bitcoins. And yeah, so a little bit of a double topping action here, just in those high 70s. So the question becomes, yeah, we are selling off of that, kind of pushing into the low 60s there. Kind of a bit of a support here from prior months earlier on in the year as well, in and around that 59 with the wick low at that 56. So all well within range. Now again, you know how volatile Bitcoin can be when it does attempt to make highs and then starts to sell off. We can see what it's done in the past whenever we've attempted that, and this is looking like a little bit more of the same there. So yeah, I think if we break down and crack some of these lows here, we do have room to come in for another discount, maybe down in the 50s and 40s. But again, what do I know? Let's see if this kind of this pattern here, this chart kind of brings it into the downside as it has been over the past couple of weeks there. That's all I got on watch. But yeah, IBIT can give a great kind of opportunity for that. If you look at the daily chart, we have been selling off, again, off of similar tops there, 41s being the high, and then 36s trading as of right now. So making fresh lows in terms of monthly lows and weekly lows as well on IBIT, kind of mirroring that move on BTC.
Real quick to wrap things up here, Gilead trying to get going once again through 71.5, trying to get back to 72, 4+% here, 2 days in a row, up on a positive trial or positive data from a trial on a twice per year HIV drug.
Yeah, Brendo, let's take a shot at this here. Lenacapavir, guys, achieved 100% efficacy in preventing HIV among women in late-stage trial with respect to men. Data from the men study is expected late this year, early next year. But essentially, it really aims to reduce the amount of pre-exposure, these PrEP drugs, PrEP, excuse me. It could increase the amount being taken here, but looks like a good result here, Brendo.
Yeah, relative volume, I mean, it typically doesn't do anything pre-market, but approaching 7 right now on Gilead, guys.
I'm actually... all right, we can. I mean, there's only a minute left right now. Gilead, $71. Great stock. I mean, you know, lots of stuff. They work with the HIV and a whole bunch of different opportunities there. Good level there, 64. Definitely held it. I mean, I don't know. I like the space, man. I like IBB. We talked about that XBI just to get more involved in some of those names. All right, so those are just healthcare and biotech names. So I really, really like that. It looks like there's not too much to be done here off the open. Palantir still looks like it wants to sell off a little bit into the open, but for right now, it's going to be Apple on my mind. I just put it off. We marked down as our number one trade idea was 212, but it looks like we're going to try to take 210 almost immediately right now off the open. So we're going to get this countdown ready to go. I'm probably not going to smash into something too big off the open, but I am waiting at 211.50 to see if we can get a short there in Apple, and then we'll try to be patient and go with it with only 3, 2, and 1. Nvidia 127 right now. All right, so we're now open. Nvidia with a huge flush, just went down into 126. That's Palantir, sorry. Let me go over to Nvidia, just flushed in. Don't know what it's doing now. Yeah, there it is, 126.30. They're taking it out right now on Nvda. Downside, 120, go. Damn, Daniel, where were we short again? It don't matter. There it is, a nice little flush down. We didn't have big size anyways at that level, so let's just continue to watch it. Look at that huge volume print. Remember we said 20 million shares? Well, it was about 28 million or so in that first little move down. We're not even closed that first candle yet. We have our starter position in Apple. We are waiting for 210. Put one at 210.50. It seems like we're dancing around a little bit here. We'll wait for 211.50 in order to get more shares up to 212. If we break 212, let's pretty much get out of that trade and regroup, Obi, if that does come through. But for right now, we'll take a little bit. Okay, there it is. We get the 52 print. So we'll print a little bit of money here early on that flush initially here on Apple.
Yes, sir. So a little bit of a lick grab of the pre-market lows there on Nvidia. Drops down to 25.73s. Insta rebid back into 127s. So I did get it a little bit long right in front of that. Let's see if we can kind of come into those. We were looking at that 133, 130 level as being potentially interesting. Let's see if we can kind of make it up there on that pre-market low lick grab. But again, very, very aggressive right off of the open there. You guys can see the speed and aggression of that tape there in and around that 127. So again, this could very well just kind of come right back in. But again, that rebid, very, very aggressive. I like that. Go ahead and bring that back to 129s. Let's see if that pre-market consolidation high kind of comes in there. 127 halves testing as of right now. 128's on its way.
Good one.
20 pennies away, 30 pennies away from that 128. Why don't I have more there, Sean? About 300 lots get taken right away at that 128 test. Let's see if this strength kind of continues off the open. That 210 holding on Apple. Here comes 128, a bit of a stacked offer there. Stacked offer gets taken out. Bye-bye. And where's VWAP? 127.90s, it would seem. So that is also VWAP, a little bit of confluence happening underneath that 128.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just wait and see kind of for that strength to come in. We did sell off quite aggressively yesterday, and I think there are a lot of players looking for that continuation short. So let's see who we can catch offside right off of the open today.
Yeah, we took some profit in, it came back up, and then right there, we got our 50s. So yeah, it looks like the market did flush and then bounced off 19.9. We'll see if we can flush back in right now. We're still waiting for Apple 212. We knew it would be a little bit violent. We probably should have waited a little bit longer. Great trade by that over there, Obi, for that dollar club right there for you. But it looks like we will lose about our 80 cents or so on this trade if it does continue to march higher now. Of course, that is Apple. We should have waited for 212, but we got excited a little bit too early there on that name. So we are into Apple on the short off 212. So look what we wrote down, 212 as if it goes to 211.90 there, Obi. You mentioned being patient. That was a good call by you. So now let's just continue the momentum here in the space. You're on Nvidia. Let's see if we were right about AMD. Yeah, as Nvidia goes up, looks like AMD still at VWAP, so I don't want to say AMD is going down, but okay, there it is. AMD trying to shoot back up a little bit right here. So we'll continue to watch both of these names. I did want to go back to one other name for myself, as we're still in Apple. I mean, Apple is really the whole trade for me right now. I did want to look at Palantir. Let me put some more. Oh, Apple just got in the 20s and stopped and just bounced up 40, 50 cents. There's a lot of volume and a lot of price discovery right now, so let's just be careful with exactly how many shares we're using and make sure that we adhere to our stops, because this seems to be a pretty violent open in some of these names, man. There goes Nvidia, good call on that, breaking through 128.
Boom. So a little bit of an ad on that dip there. I definitely could have been better of an ad. 127.50s was holding, bit of a reserve happening on the bid at 127.50s. I was not fast enough for that, but I was like, all right, when's the next point? So maybe going into 128. So I did get 127.90s there for a bit of an ad. Again, got to do way better with that. More efficiency on the execution for sure is required, but I don't mind the bid pushing into 90 for the break of 128 after it's already clipped it, pulled back down over 60, 70 pennies. Again, trapping more shorts potentially because that was a confluence with this pre-market trend that we've been happening. And there's a slap to the ask into 129.
Yes,
Here we
sir.
go. 128
yes, sir. Where's
coming
these,
in.
let's go.
Let's see how much further we can get. 129s. We're looking for that magical 130 there, Sean. Let's see if that 130 potentially comes in. But I do have to stay a little bit nimble on this ticker here as that aggressiveness comes in. That 212 on Apple, dude. Did you have that?
Dude, we are right now. We are cruising. We've got $1 in the money right now, man. It's good to be here with Obi right now. Obi putting up digits right now. Thanks, Obi, for doing that and showing everybody that it is possible to keep that dream alive. And yes, we do have, Obi, we did have that 212 level marked down, but unfortunately, we loaded up at 211.50, which is right now. I'll join you, Obi. How does that sound there? $4 club. I know you're in the $2 club.
129. Where do I get more is the question. I have no idea. I do not. Just hold on.
Yes, man. Hold on for the move. No, do whatever you want, my guy, right there. Today is so far so good. As we sit, yes, let's go. This is a big trade for me here on Apple as we just sit in the trade that we wanted to make, and that was a good one. And of course, we talked about it, man. Nvidia getting upweighted, Apple getting downweighted, and of course, this is what we have on, baby. This is now, this is a big trade for me on Apple, man. We don't just write down levels and then just like ho-hum them. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's not, honestly, that's not what it's about, Obi. You gotta have some kind of confidence in what you're doing. And there, wow, $1.34. I'm not sure how much confidence I have because I keep getting out of these, but right now we still do have half on as we'll bid down here at 210.10 and get that fill right now. Wow, okay, Obi. Okay.
Wow, what a flush.
Wow, that's a big move there for us. We back in the building right now and putting on damage on Apple. Almost $2 in the money now on AAPL to the short side. We're having a good time here, and it's only 9:37. You want to go golfing now, or we still got to do the show?
I mean, I'm playing the game I want to play right now.
That's what I'm talking
about.
I'm not
even thinking about golf. So let's see that 128. We came right back in. We attempted a push for that 129, pulls back into 128. So let's see what we do in and around here with that 128.
Oh.
Again, some of these pre-market levels looking interesting. Bit of a shelf happening on that 129 again. So I do again. We talk about staying nimble. I do have to stay nimble on this trade as it is coming back to my break even. But again, this is in around VWAP. I have VWAP at 127.90, so this could have just been a lick of VWAP and we just give everything back, right? So I do have to stay nimble, like I said. Apple's coming to the downside, so is the market. 20,000, kind of a chop and churn happening with that 20,000. So let's see what we got in store. Again, this is just the first trade, not the last one. So again, I'm not thinking about the next trade just yet because I'm still in this one. But again, I do know in the back of my mind that there will be more opportunities. But before that, we're going to go to Adara.
Clover Health here on watch. This one has run in the past. Right now, up about 22% here. Its director, Vivek Garipalli, apparently buying 877,000 shares of the company, valued at roughly $1 million here. So great look for CLOV here to the upside. Penny stock here. It's just above $1 now, guys.
Clover penny stock. Yeah, ask Chamath. What is that? What does he have? A price target of like $500 on that thing? Or no, wait a second. That's only the price target when he's selling it to other people. I don't know what he has it for his own personal account there. All right, so let's go on AMD. Not much happening there. Just trying to see if there's anything happening on some of these scanners. Like you mentioned, though, we're still in this one right now as well. We can look at Palantir. I mean, Apple right now, we've already, again, we have about 25% of that trade still on board. So Palantir there, we wrote down 25 24.50. The bottom was 24.40. But the market's making this move right now. Nvidia is really coming back in as well. So let's just watch out what's happening right there with the NASDAQ, possible bouncing area. Let's try some Palantir at 24.50 if we can.
Yeah, so this we came right back into 127s. That was a bit of a level off of the open there, and holding as of right now that 127. So a little bit of a wipe back down through VWAP. So we attempted to go through VWAP at that 127.90s, go up to 129 and some change, and then come right back into that 127. But technically, we are making some higher lows as of right now. But again, it hasn't even been 10 minutes. Well, it's gonna be now in about 10 seconds. But again, we talked about that 15-minute candle to print. We still got 5 minutes for that 15-minute candle to print there. And I did take a little bit of an ad on top of that 127 when it did come back in. But okay, so let's just see how this goes. That 128 seems interesting. VWAP as well, right? So there goes the NQ. A little bit of a pop back through that 20 thou. Again, that 20 thou might be a little bit interesting there, as it is a bigger whole number there. That 128. Let's see. Again, chop and churn, Sean, off of the open is quite interesting. A lot of opportunity. Again, it gave you a couple dollars to the upside and then pulls right back in all the way. So again, I'm gonna stay patient. Not the best to kind of hold on when it's not really working for you. But it seems like we're chopping and churning around this 127 as we try to hold this 20,000 mark with the bottom wick on the 15-minute chart here on the NQ as well. So I'll stay a little bit more patient with this one and see what it does. What's going on with
not much. I mean, I add Palantir. I don't know. I added. Well, I'm waiting. Palantir's not doing too much right now. 24.60. Let's check out GameStop. All right, so GameStop moving around a little bit. I mean, it opened up around 25.15 or so. As Obi said, we've been live now for about 10 minutes, 11 minutes. High 25.80, and right now stuck in the middle. So I think we got to wait for that. I did want to talk about a little bit of a reload. It's not a huge one there. We just took some at 211. We'll wait for a little bit more if it comes back up into 211. I still want to try this 212 area. There's been some settling down now. Look, I'm aware that they were upgraded today by Bernstein, and I understand that. I really like the name. But I just feel that yesterday, in the last couple of days, we do have a nice downside move coming here for Apple. So let's props it up a little bit. As we just reloaded O's, we just got out at 60. So that's a quick 40-cent little push in our pocket right there on that one. And we do have a new position right now as well. So we'll go sirens up for PLTR, long now at 56. Let's see if we can just sort of scalp this one. We'll get something out. Oh, sorry, we're not even showing you Palantir. There it is right there. So we are long at 56. We did say we were trying to buy something near 50. It does go down to 50, so we should have done a little bit better on that. So let's get something out in the mid 60s here, and then we'll see about there it is. So we'll take a 64, 65. Now we'll see if we can get back up to the day's high of 73 now for Palantir, as Apple trying to still make moves a little bit here. I'm going to take another piece at 58 if we can get it there, which we can. So more profit coming through on Apple. We're still short. There it is. It's back in the money now, $1 there for Apple. And a good little reload for you, I can see on Nvidia. Is that still in that 128 pocket right there?
It's holding as of right now. But before that, we're just going to pass it back to Dara.
GILD holding up really nicely here. Gilead Sciences up over 5%. We did mention this one earlier today, trading higher at for this now the second day in a row after announcing positive results for its HIV prevention treatment. GILD, guys.
Yeah, that GILD was definitely interesting. I did not have eyes on it this morning, so thank you guys for pointing that out. And yeah, some strong action yesterday. Looking for that continuation today. That 74 mark is pre-market highs on GILD, so it is kind of trending up there. 72 is testing as of right now. Okay, so it seems like Nvidia looking a little bit weak off of that VWAP there, so I do have to keep an eye on this one going back through, potentially getting back through 127 here. So that 127, what's going on? What was that?
Oh, man, we're being passed love notes all the time.
Oh, nice.
Can't show it on air.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see a little bit of a heart there. Yeah, okay.
Yo, don't.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so no, as we're just playing around. All right, so your Nvidia is coming back in a little bit, but so is the market. The market is an absolute right now. I'm going to hit this thing because I like this one, the market red, as we start to turn. Yeah, that sounds great. All right, so back into 210 right now. We are back into the dollar club. We sort of talked about that. I do want to break of 11 here, or sorry, 210. Let's bid something just to get a piece out on this bottom. All right, let's go. There we go. We take a piece out right now. I mean, the rhetoric is working so far, man. We knew that we liked this short today. We took it. We even liked it so much we reloaded it. The Palantir trade is a little bit of a funny one because I'm not sure, man. If this market wants to slip up too much, I don't really want to be on this name that's been downgraded the way it has, but we are bouncing right off some levels here. So okay, we got numbers coming out now. Let me buy a little bit down here of Palantir, but let's go over to Adara as we have PMI coming in 10 seconds.
We have global composite PMI here, S&P global composite PMI flash for the month of June coming through here at 9:45. Also, manufacturing and global services PMI flash 54.5 was the previous print here for composite. 51.3 for global PMI flash and global services at 54.8. We had these numbers come in here. So S&P services PMI 55.1, so higher than expected here. S&P manufacturing 51.7. That's also going to be a little bit higher than the previous year, 51. And then last but not least, S&P composite flash 54.6 versus 53.5 previous. So all these numbers coming higher than expected here. SPY curling a little bit lower, guys.
Yeah, kind of like as pretty much everything there, as Adair mentioned, a little bit higher or as expected. So, I mean, the NASDAQ, I just expect it to continue this movement down. And unfortunately, no, we'll lose 20% of our Apple trade here on Palantir. The market's starting to head down. I'm going to take a little piece off here on Palantir at 32.33s. See if we can get back up to the upside. We're long here at 40. It looks like it's going to break. I'm not going to hold this past 25. The market is now below 20,000. I don't love this trade, buying a stock that's been downgraded and that's getting hit, especially with the market trying to really, I don't know, make new lows. So I'm not super excited about that. There's that wick all the way down there. Someone bought the lows up there, and it might be Nvidia based. Nvidia's at 127. I'll leave that talk to you. But Apple is also right now teetering around this 10s area. So I don't know if I'm going to take any more out here. Let's see if it does bounce back up. But for right now, Palantir looks like it's going to slip up. We did take a piece out there. There he is, breaking through 25. We'll slap a fail on it. We'll talk to you about it. We lost 20% of what we made on Apple right there on Palantir. So, bad trade for PLTR. Thought we could try to buy the dips. That was a mistake.
Yeah, so we keep kind of churning this 127 there. There's a lot of volume going on there at that 127. We got a bit of a sell-off off of those economic numbers there, but you can see the NQ is doing a little bit of a wick dance back up there. So let's see what Adara has to say.
Be aware of Etsy here, ETSY, not seeing any news on this, and no social media attention in the last 29 minutes, at least on X. But they do have a short float here of about 12%. ETSY up over 3%, trying to climb here to this high of day, guys.
All right. I just said to Obi, I feel a little silly not buying Nvidia here, but you are losing it. So I would also feel silly losing on it when I haven't traded it yet. But we'll punch a little bit long here right now. We're just long at 76. It looks okay. If it drops 50, that's the day's low. We're going to get out of it. So it looks like it will drop it. Yeah, there it is. Oh, no, just held it, Obi, a little bit there. We are still in this one. I don't know. What is your average position? You're long a dollar ago. Okay. So yeah, I don't. We're just long right now. So it looks like we will lose 25 cents plus slippage. I don't think we got much slippage there at all, actually. So that was pretty good. We actually got 43s. So that sucks. Still a positive trade for us here today, but yeah, Nvidia losing the bid a little bit now, Obi. 126 has been the bottom, though. I'll try. I don't know. I'll wait, actually. Is that your out? Do you have an out on there? Is this an all? Is it what you're thinking?
Yeah. No, I'm definitely watching tape here. Let's see what we do with this 126. I do want to give it some space to kind of work there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
But yeah, that 126 in and around that pre-market level, still not the day low as of right now. But again, a lot of volume churning at that 127, so that definitely interests me as well. So I'm just looking to see if we kind of come back into some of those levels or we break this half as of right now. But the market, again, selling off quite quite aggressively off of that economic number. So there might be some follow through happening there as well. Looking like a little bit of a continuation from yesterday, nonetheless, as of right now on Nvidia, 125.73s being day low, that wick low that we got right off of the open there.
We had talked a little bit about liking Amazon as well, as we're back into Nvidia as well. We're long at 58s now. I don't. We'll bid. There we go. We just got a lower bid now. Okay, so here it comes, man. We are going to be dropped out on this one as soon as this breaks 126. It's too bad because it's not too bad. I mean, I hope it still rips up. We're not necessarily out of this trade yet, but we had looked at it. And it's too bad because we're going to be red on it because it is going to break 126. But it's like we only wanted the short on Nvidia. We wrote that down, but as you know, it didn't hit our 134 level. So it is continuously going down here. They are selling off Nvidia. We just tried it. So we tried it twice. It's funny because our first short was right, and then we got stopped out of that one. That was 127.50. Here comes 126 back in again. Maybe it's Apple that's wrong right now because it's not moving while Nvidia is going that way. Let's just check out on AMD right now. What was that level? 123-ish on Nvidia is something that we looked at. Wow, AMD. Okay, so they're selling the space now. It looks like as AMD continues its downside move here as well for the day. Apple just hovering. We're pretty light on it. You guys saw me cover some of that, and we didn't really get a chance to reload Apple anywhere yet. So we'll wait on that. If it gets to 211.50, we could do that. But Nvidia's breaking, man. And Nvidia's breaking for sure, and AMD. So AMD back up to 160 might be a good short, but for right now, we got to let these things settle down. There goes Nvidia, man. Wow, that short was dead on up there at that 130, but again, felt like it didn't get to any levels. And I like the long that you had. I mean,
yeah, it worked for a bit.
It worked for a minute, and then it didn't, right? I mean, that's the problem. Same thing with Palantir down to 24. All right, so yeah, about tech names. Maybe we'll wait on them because it looks like only Apple right now is going to be a winner for me as we will go 1 for 2. L on Nvidia, dub on Apple, and then an L, actually 1 for 3, 1 and 2, 1 for 3 because Palantir down here at 24 is trying to bounce as well. Maybe that's a pickup. Down 6% now, Palantir. What's up, A?
Nice look here for Asana this morning. ASAN on the NYSE. This one, after the market closed yesterday, announced a $150 million stock repurchase program. Some details here. The market cap here is about $2.5 billion. Short float of about 5.5%. ASAN near day's highs with decent volume here, guys.
Oh, man. I was just saying, he's just saying Intel's the only one holding up, but I said Intel. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so 160. I mean, I would still like... Let's offer AMD. Wow, Nvidia's really getting killed. Yeah. All right, Apple's come back up, which is kind of strange to me. We're gonna have to be patient with that. Let's take a fill actually right now because we are getting close to the 50 period. Normally we use that, but we're gonna put on some shares back here at 211.50. Still using 212, but there's a little bit of a reload right there as OB Nvidia just now is gonna take 25.
Look at that
big size at 25.
Holy, more than like what is that, like 10? I see 10,000 almost. No, it's like 5,000-6,000 lots there at that.
I think we'll have to play the break on that, man.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Did it break? I just got short. I don't know if that broke or not.
It did break. It did break. Yeah, a little. About it's trading 124.70s on the bid.
Yeah. Okay,
right so we did break quite aggressively.
Holy shit!
Right away through that size.
I mean, oh my God. Yeah, so nice little move downside right there for us on Nvidia. We got that, man, and it's starting to make a move right now back in 124. We're short 125 flat right now, so good trade. We'll get some 50-cent spots out right now. Hey, man, all we're doing is licking those wounds, but these wounds can get exposed and get to be gashing wounds in a couple seconds here. So let's just get out. We're out of more than half right now. Oh my, we do not have diamond hands on this one. No, we do not. We are taking 50 cents because, yeah, man, we were not expecting this kind of a move there on Nvidia. So, wow, okay. Pardon my French on that, but that was, I was like, oh my God, we have shares. It didn't break, and then all of a sudden it did, and then it collapsed in, and then the P&L started going, and then I was like, you know. So there it is. We are now getting lighter and lighter as Apple continues to go up and Nvidia having a very bad day.
Oh yeah, that again.
I need more coffee.
Watching those 128s again. I was like, yeah, there's quite a lot of volume going on at that 127, but that VWAP definitely had some strong selling. We just reclaimed that 125 where that I guess distinctly different amount of size.
Ooh, I like that.
Went through over about 5,000 lots there, and then we reclaimed that 125, dropping down to 124.30s at day low right now. So I do like that look a little bit there. So yeah, I'll stay still a little bit more patient there to see what we do with that 125, where that significant amount of volume kind of traded there. NQ's holding up. What is this? 19,940. It would seem so. Just below that 19.9 right there, which is also kind of this wick from the pre-market session there, and then ES as well. Let's see what we do with this 125 here. So just taking a look at the larger time frame, looking back a little bit here on Nvidia. Let's take a look, see if that 125 has been a little bit of an interesting area, right? So pre-split, that 125 was definitely a little bit interesting, where we got that strong selling and consolidation going in and through that the split that we had, and then we got a little bit of acceleration to the upside off of this 125 area. So definitely also being a psychological level as well. I do believe that there may or may not be some interest there, and it has shown itself in the form of some size sitting there, and we're trading right in and around that 125 once again here on Nvidia. So I'm kind of I'll stay patient. I'll kind of stay nimble, maybe a little bit more nimble than I was on this position. No need to lose I guess a point after being over a point in the money on the trade there. I got to do a little bit better with the stops, but this 125, if this kind of holds, if we get some market tailwind as well, I will potentially get back involved with this one. But I guess Alphabet super strong on the day. This one's been pretty crazy strong for the most part here relative to the other names. Softy bidding up as well. Apple still holding that 210 mark. And I guess Amazon is
Apple.
bidding right back into some of these pre-market levels. What's going on with Apple?
Yeah, I mean, Apple is just, I mean, it's going to be P&L number one, and it's not even close today, because remember we just said that, I don't know if anybody was taking it with me, but 211, we just reloaded it. We talked about reloading 211, and there it comes. Wow, thank you, Randy. I told Randy, I said I need a coffee like ASAP. Thank you so much for that, Randy. We were.
Thank you.
Oh, we have our first. Today we face another league, so we play another all-girls team, and we've never played with a pitching machine before. So we have girls pitching, and today pitching machines, so that should be exciting. But I think it's going to rain tonight, isn't it? Me too. I hope not. Also, you have any plans, Randy? No. Okay. Well, enjoy. Hey, if you barbecue, bring me in whatever you barbecue, a little piece of something, okay, for the show. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely barbecue
He's
weather
got to
there.
slip that stuff in there, you know.
Yeah.
Because I know that if he's not going up north, he's probably barbecuing something. So you gotta think about that. And he likes the smoker, the ribs, the wings, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll be more on forget about what I'm barbecuing up. We'll find out what Randy's barbecuing up there on Monday. But we just barbecued up a little bit of winner there on Apple, as we just covered 210 18 or something, as it's kind of dancing around. Look, we knew there'd be extended volume today, 24 million on Apple already. Nvidia touching 120 million right now on Nvidia. Good trade there. We're holding this one against us, but you might have heard, I was really excited. We got out of a lot of those shares. Here's a reload back up for Nvidia at 126. I'm going to try to reload this to 127 and change. If we take this top of 127.50, I'm out. So we could turn this into a really bad trade if it continues to go up, but I'm going to average more at 127 than use 127.50 as our out. I do know that Nvidia is supposed to be up-weighted though, right? So, I mean, some of these flushes might not last as people begin to think about quad witching and what that means for the option market. What's up, A?
Keep an eye on share care here. This one up about 76% right now. It was halted, news pending before open. And then we got the news here. It's set to be acquired by Alteris, this Alteris affiliate, for $143 per share in cash. Right now trading around $1.36. So SHCR, 5.4% short float. Watch out for this one. Just open back up, guys.
All righty then. All right, so what did bounce was Palantir. I mean, I'm not going to feel any kind of ways about this one, because on here we wrote down 24.50. We tried it, we lost it, we got out. Then we tried 24.35s. it dropped down 10 cents against us, we got out, which is probably pretty good because unless you waited for the absolute bottom of 24, then honestly, I mean, I got to try to represent some of these levels that I'm seeing. And 24, although is always a key level, could have retested it there. We had turned our attention over to Nvidia and Apple for good reason. We're in both those trades, and we definitely missed that Palantir there. So I'll sit in sort of the trades that we have right now, but definitely aware if Palantir comes back to 24, that's not a horrible idea to do that. But with the downside protection, I feel like it wants to get back there. It's tested it. The market is going to be the key, right? If the market gets back up to 20,000, I feel like I'd rather short this level in the market as well as short this level on Palantir. So Palantir's already down 6%. If we can get a bump up to VWAP, that would probably mean that the Nasdaq's going to go. Feel a little more comfortable shorting Palantir than I would the market just because of the relationship there. But we are now $1 out of the money on Nvidia. So we did average back into this. We are looking for more shares. We talked about that up here at 126.90. So here comes Nvidia. Let's take a little bit now in case we don't get up there and just lower the time, the amount that we want up here at 127. Our out is going to be 127.50. So let's see what winds up happening. We do have a Dara, I believe, with numbers at 10.
Waiting on a few numbers here. Existing home sales month over month are going to be the key numbers. Existing home sales coming in slightly below the previous year, 4.11 million, in between the consensus of 4.1 million and the forecast of 4.12 million. We also got existing home sales month over month dropping by 0.7% compared to the previous drop of 1.9%. So a bit of a smaller drop than the previous month here. CB leading index month over month also coming in here, smaller than expected drop as well, negative 0.5 versus negative 0.6% expected. SPY continuing to kind of climb back up here above VWAP. NASDAQ and S&P 500 mirroring each other a little bit so far today. Not a lot of economic prints to keep and watch other than what we got at 9:45 and 10 here. And no Fed speakers on the docket as of right now. But certainly lots of things to watch out for in regards to a bit of a shift here in tech. Some other names to keep an eye out for include Gilead, holding pretty well here around this just shy of $71 level. Announcing some positive results for its HIV prevention treatment yesterday and continuing to trade higher, up about 3.5% for GILD. Another name to keep an eye out for is Palantir. This one was down about 6%, dropping to that 24 level, getting a downgrade to sell by Manes, SPCE, and Hertz. So PLTR, GILD, and quite a few other names I've watched to end this week, guys.
It's not right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Price action.
Yeah, good trade there. Obi's long 126.50. I'm short 126.20. So we'll wait. But you know what? The name that's, again, it's kind of been a saving grace here for me, honestly, because we didn't lose that. We didn't lose anything. Well, we lost something on Palantir, but like I said, we've now made back more than that. At the time, it was only 20% of our Apple trade was lost on Palantir, and since then we've reloaded it, I think, twice. And now this is near the bottom again is Apple. So let's wait to see if that can go. And here is our trade of the day right now. It's going to be Nvidia, and we're just going to wait to see if it does fall back in. It is making a nice little retracement back. Let's take some advantage of that as we do have an extended piece of shareage on this. So 126, see if we can get a drop through 50 and then get this even lower than that. We just talked about reloading it up there at 127, which is what we did. And then here comes the drop back in. We're short at 126.30s.
Yeah, that 127 is also VWAP. We do come right into that 127, and then can't really make it too far past that. But I did like the re-break of that 125. 125 back through, I think, was a great short.
Here we go.
125 initial drop was a great short. It gave you about 70 pennies, and then the insta rebid and aggressiveness right back up through that 125. I did kind of go long on that push for a retest of VWAP, and we kind of got that. I got out of everything in and around that 126.30s or just on top of 126. And then I was like, all right, well, what's the next leg there? Do we actually make it to VWAP? And then when we started holding the halves, I did kind of redo the long a little bit there for a push into that 127. But that 127 comes in, bit of a stacked offer there. Can't really get too far past it as of right now, but you can see how the market kind of wicked right back into this range that we were kind of doing in the pre-market there. So some strength happening. Let's see if we kind of continue with that strength, or does Nvidia continue to sell off with these VWAP sellers kind of being in charge on the day today? So I do have to respect that if that is going to be the case there. But I'll give it a couple more minutes there just to kind of feel out this flow here off that reclaim of that 125 there. What's going on?
Cash flow.
Blue.
Oh man, we're gonna have Kevin O'Leary back on soon, I believe. All right, so right now 126. I mean, let's go, man. Let's go. Hit the sirens. I know. Sorry, Obi, that you're long. This name. We're short right now. Okay, all right, let's go. I mean, I just said sorry and the thing ripped up, so okay. Not that sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But no, so this is the thing. You know, we always talk about this on the show. People will say, uh-oh, you know, like Neil's long, Sean's short. Obi's long, Sean's short, vice versa. We have different targets. We have different share sizes. We have different expectations. I mean, we have the same expectation. You know, you don't put on a trade if you don't expect to spin it, right? But at the same time, let's wait to see what does wind up happening. Now, 80 cents in the money. Let's take another bid here at 126 flat, as it seems like it wants to resist a little bit here, as if you're going to read the tape. It looks like it just got bought up again right there. Look at that move down. I'm bidding 04s. Please don't stop at 05s. There it is. We get that 04 right now. Now 90 cents in the money right there. We have back-to-back dollar winners on board right now. We have only traded two names, really. Here comes Apple back down through 210. We're short at 211, 210.80 right there. And then Nvidia right now is really starting to make my day here a little bit as it comes all the way back in for us, Nvda. So yeah, a little bit of a tale of two opinions here for us.
I have no idea what your position is. I'm not watching the board or anything. I'm trying to decipher.
Yeah, and that's the good thing.
I'm trying to taste the rainbow. Let's say that.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. That's what I was getting at is that you're going to do your stuff. I only know the position because it's the show.
That VWAP does seem like it's been a great place to sell off of the open there. I will 100% admit that as of right now.
Look at
those
Apple.
VWAP sellers are definitely in charge as of right now. But this 127, 126 area, that reclaim of 125 might have me a little bit biased there. But yeah, no. What are you guys trading today? Are you guys taking Nvidia?
Yeah, look at some more names.
Nvidia. We know that Apple short. Oh boy, that 212 man.
Dude,
that came in real nice there. 210s coming right back in. Actually trading 209.
Yeah, bro. We just covered some more down there.
Solid trade.
We're $1 in the money on that one. And the 212 was the most solid of all. But it's like, you held that Qualcomm. Like, sometimes like you get in such good positions, it's like, why don't you just hold it all day long? Yeah. But you know, we do know that Apple is supposed to have a little bit of an outflow today, so we'll wait to see if that winds up hitting or not for Apple. It's still up on the day with a red NASDAQ. So, you know, Apple's been positive. We are so light on this stock now. We have less than 10% left. Most of our outs, we have to admit it, are here at 210.30s. We just did get that right into day's low. So yeah, man, we will be happy as punch on that one. Here comes Nvidia right back up. The market did not continue its lows there. So we did not go back to lows after trying to get back to VWAP. So now I feel like we will get back up to VWAP right now. So let's wait to see what happens on Nvidia. And again, like we are lucky enough to cover a lot underneath 126. Like what a violent name this Nvidia is here today, man. Just giving you dollars both ways. Nvda. So there it is, man. Nicely back up into 127 again. We'll try it again up here just because it is the 50 period. But we are, and VWAP. So we'll trade this, but knowing full well that you know, shorting Nvidia can be a recipe for not success. So we'll wait to see. People could be buying the dips, man. Nvidia just in the last couple of days down quite significantly from 140 to 125. So anybody looking to dip buy Nvidia, probably trying to take opportunities like today, where we have rebalances and lots of volume to go ahead and do that. But there's the reload for us. Let's see what winds up happening now to Nvidia. And then any other names you guys want us to talk about. I know we're very focused on some of these ones for now, but put them in the chat and Obi and I will have no problem going through them. And then Dara will be there with any kind of breaking news as well.
Yeah, we're kind of we keep knocking on the door of this VWAP here. So we did get back up to VWAP, and then you get a nice flush into the bid for about 20-30 pennies, and it kind of is holding as of right now. VWAP I have at 126.98, so just shy of that 127 right there, and we're trading in the upper quarter of the dollar there, that above that 2670s, 2660s now. So I guess we're trading in the half. So yeah, I'll stay a little bit more patient here. Again, like I said, bigger picture kind of potentially, I did like that rebid through that 125, but again, that was probably the better price there. As again, VWAP sellers seem like they are very, very aggressive as of right now. And look at that market, the market coming right back in as well. So a little bit of a chop and churn happening. Apple back through that 210 there, Sean.
Yeah,
so yeah, that thing again, that 212 was great, but that 210 seems like some of these pre-market levels potentially coming back in on Apple there. Let's take a quick look across the board to see what some of the other constituents are up to here. Alphabet is the strongest one, it would seem, as of right now. Opened in and around that 177, trading at 178, holding that trend quite well as of right now. Softy still sideways, Apple sideways for sure, and Amazon and I guess Nvidia a little bit sideways as well, if you want to call it that, within a range of like 128 to 125. So slightly sideways, attempting to push for that VWAP, but those VWAP sellers do seem like they are in control as of right now. Bit of continuation, strong continuation off of yesterday on Nvidia. So let's take a quick look at some of this tech basket that I have going on there. Intel is the strongest one, it would seem there, Sean. So Intel high a day is 31.15. We're kind of trying to pushing up into that with the rest of these names kind of selling off as well. But before that, we're going to pass it off to Dara.
Keep an eye on SRPT here. This one is actually not a small cap, $11.6 billion market cap for Sarepta Therapeutics. But this one is interesting. They did have a catalyst yesterday, FDA approving their rare muscular dystrophy gene therapy treatment. They also got a slew of analyst price target increases, including Nvda raising the price target to $235. Right now, this one trading around $172 point right now. They have a short float of about 6.9%. Keep an eye on SRPT, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good little look there. I'm wondering if this is a situation where it's like, don't look left, but look right. Like Nvidia right now, almost $1 off that reload. But then you were mentioning here on Google as well, like this is near all-time highs. Its all-time high is 180.40. You know, so like, I don't know. This is kind of out of nowhere, isn't it? Did we get a story on Google, Dara, maybe? If I missed it, thank you, because yeah, it's straight up. And I mean, I know there's the AI talking. Maybe this one's being rebalanced the other way. I don't know. I was never really on. I don't think either one of our radars really today. I wrote down Amazon as a name that I liked long, but it seems like this. And I talked to Danielle Shea about this the other day when she was on the air, and I said, you know, she said, pick one, and I said Google because it looked like it was consolidating. And again, a month out of earnings, we could get another push higher here as just like all the AI talk for Apple and all the AI talk for all these smartphones and new technologies coming through. I mean, they're going to drop the Pixel 9 or whatever. I think it's the 9 next, and it's going to have some pretty, you know, wicked stuff, I'd imagine, in it as well. So just all the love that Apple gets. Okay, there we go. We just got Nvidia 10s right there. All the love that Apple gets, I think Google can get it for their usage as well. I know their subscription model's not nearly as powerful with iTunes and sort of the download base that they have there, the subscriber base with Apple, but Google's, I mean, great. They also have the cloud that Apple doesn't, that same service that Apple has there with everything, and then the search, and I don't know. I really like Google. It is a big holding of my own, if you can't tell about that one. So, all right, yeah, watching Google. A lot of people looking to pick up some Google down there. So, yeah, off to the races. I look at a 180 break, to be honest with you. The all-time high right now of Google is 180.40, that wick right there. So watch out here. Google getting heated. What's up, Abe?
I found two potential news stories here in Google. One of them is actually from yesterday at 1 p.m. This is actually announced by Amazon, but Anthropic, which is backed by both Amazon and Google, announcing its Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is the most powerful AI yet. Then at 9:17 a.m., though I'm not sure if this is going to be necessarily a catalyst that this well received, but we did get a catalyst coming in for TechCrunch reporting that Google is pausing its real money apps. So interesting look here on GOOGL. Couple potential catalysts here, guys.
Toby in a second. I just want to get this out because we just talked about this. I've changed my stop for Nvidia. It's just going to be just north of 127, like 127.20 and change. It's strong. We just got some out again down there, like all the way down. We'll just average back in one last time and take advantage of this move down right now. Take an 80 fill. Like we just got in 90s. We'll take an 80s, man. This is looking strong. I like those reloads down there at 120. I know maybe you reloaded it, but I like those levels down there. If it pulls back, we are starting to slowly get out. Hey, look, man, and this is, again, look at the different style, right? I'm reloading, taking some profit. This guy's staying long and strong. So, I mean, you can easily win both ways. And that's why I love having Obi on here, because not in and out of many different names, being very focused. You could see the different style as opposed to Neil, myself, everybody on the show trades their own way. So thanks, Obi, for demonstrating that method as well. Let's just see what happens. I am now, so even just there, we just got lighter and lighter on this, man. Changing our opinion. Nvidia looks strong. If anything, it doesn't bounce its head off VWAP like 4 times here just to come back to it and keep doing it. Yeah. So unless we're range bound,
could be the case.
Which
we did have a strong day yesterday.
Could be the case. Yeah. I mean, it is range bound already. I mean, where does it have to go to break the range? 130, 129 and change. So we still have a lot of work to do before we break anything right now. And we told you how light we were on Apple on this move, right back up to 211 and change for Apple as the market gets remember we said the market's probably going to test that VWAP up to 20,000. This could be a TQQ trade if you're getting a little fancy with it right now. This could be a trade if you thought the NASDAQ was maybe going to sell off a little bit here into the rest of the day. But Google right now is extension, baby. Google's just broke 179. This name continues to go up 1.5%. Let's think about some of these reloads. There we go. We got Nvidia back into 80s again. I'm just taking this profit. Every time it comes into 80, we're just bidding it out. My next bid is at 50. Then we'll wait after that. So let's see if we get a nice move down for Nvidia. Understanding our stop is right here. See, there's another out.
There goes the end. Look at the Qs.
Yep, starting to really go.
To 20 thou.
I like it.
There. So 20 thou test coming in, confluencing with that 127. There goes the 127 breakout there on Nvidia there. So I did take a little bit more on that knock. So I was like, yeah, you keep knocking on the door of that VWAP. Let's see how much further we get. VWAP sellers have been quite aggressive off of the open. But again, slightly bigger picture there. I did like that reclaim of that 125. Maybe some capitulatory action with that strong euphoric flush through
I like it.
125, doing that significant amount of volume, and then the insta reclaim back through an aggressiveness to the upside, back into VWAP, knocking on the door of VWAP when VWAP sellers have been aggressive off of the open. Like I said, I do want to keep looking for players offside, and as of right now, it seems like VWAP might be an interesting place to look. There goes Apple all the way back into that 112 there, Sean. So maybe a decent look going forward if that can continue past or back into that 112 for a potential reload, right? I'm also looking at some of these. Again, look at that Alphabet to the upside, making fresh highs. 179, can't stop, won't stop. I'm seeing a solid uptrend on Google here. So I guess I am probably long the wrong name there, Sean. So.
Yes and no. I mean, you still got 50 cents in the money on Nvidia. I mean, we didn't really look at Google until, I mean, we were just talking about it at 178, man. You know, like just 2 seconds ago, and I was like, wow, the high is 180. It looks like it's going to take it. And since then, it's up $1. So you're 100% right. We've definitely left this one to sort of fester by itself here. Huge move upside now for Google. I don't think we need to get long because it's, well, I mean, if you think it is going to run up into that high, then, I mean, of course, you'd want to get long somewhere. But I don't know. That just seems like a big move on not much of a catalyst. I mean, we went to a dare there and didn't hear too much about it. So I feel like we still want to wait a little bit for that. So for me, we'll hold off. We did go short there. We did get the price that we sort of wanted there, up at 50s. Again, as you mentioned, Apple. So we're short now at 20. We'll put some bids down here in and around 211. Maybe we'll get a bid down there at 211 and then, you know, be a little happier about this position. But for right now, a little bit of a trade here for us on Apple on a reload to the upside right now. We like that price. We've already had it once, so let's do it again. Palantir, what can I say? Nice move back up. We were thinking about their fading off the TQs, off 20,000. Let's just see. We're already short Apple. If the market wants to fade back to 20, which it's at right now, great. Needs to break it. That's right where VWAP is. So there's a hold. There's a hold of the market right there at 20,000. So it came back in, retested VWAP again, and now trying to hold. It's only 10:20. Lots of time left, man. Lots of time left in the day. So we'll still hold on to this. Your Nvidia just pulled back, which is kind of strange. I thought that was a clean break of 127.
I mean, like I said, there's been a lot of interest happening there. So I am expecting a back and forth. It's not going to be clean. The trade is slightly crowded, and it seems like VWAP sellers kind of step right back in off of a little bit of a pop. So I do have to stay a little bit nimble there. And we're also getting a potential reject of that 20,000 there. How much time is left on this 15-minute candle, you may ask? About 11 minutes left. So yeah, with that aggressiveness back to the downside, I do have to kind of continue watching this one. It is holding a little bit of a trend to the upside, but larger picture, bigger picture trend is definitely to the downside if you include yesterday's information. There goes Apple kind of coming back in. Only waited to 211.6s, it would seem there, Sean.
Yeah, Apple is, I mean, let's go again, man. There's that reload. We did it again, Obi, the same price as last time there. It's too bad that we sort of got stopped out of our Nvidia there at 127. You know, my stop was initially 127.50. We probably should have held that line, but, you know, 118 says Nvidia on Y Brothers. Are we ready for Adara? I see her standing over there. Did not call her yet. Okay, we'll wait for Adara. All right, so right now we'll just continue to look out. As we'll go to Adara in a second. Apple right now just dropping back into VWAP. So let's take a bid. We're bidding 85s. Don't tell me you missed it. Oh, we'll punch out and get out a little bit more there. Nice reload there on Apple for us as that's trying to go back into the downside. So, all right, she's ready. She's over at the green screen. Let's go find out what's up with Adara.
IWM trying to curl back up here. Nice candle bouncing off this support area after chopping and turning around VWAP for a little bit. So it looks like we're trying to make a bit of a recovery here for the Russell 2000. Right now, about in tandem with the S&P and the NASDAQ in terms of being slightly down on the day today. We have quite a few interesting names to talk about here, including Virgin Galactic, SPCE. This one actually did have its reverse split, and a couple positive catalysts coming through yesterday. Morgan Stanley raising its price target for the stock from $1.50 pre-split to $35, and then also Virgin Galactic partnering with IIAS for this new research mission. So interesting look here for SPCE continuing to trade higher after those announcements yesterday. We also have Asana ASAN. This one a little bit larger, about $2.5 billion market cap. This one at highs of day announcing a $150 million stock repurchase program. And last but not least, Clover Health, CLOV, this one also near high of day. The company's director buying about $1 million worth of the company's stock. So good luck for CLOV. Quite a few interesting names here, guys.
Okay, Clover Health. That's a name I remember from, back in COVID times, I guess?
Yeah. All those stocks. One of the SPAC, I believe. Open Door, Clover, a bunch of other great names there. All right, so just real quick, I mean, not a whole heck of a lot happening over on this side of things, but we're still in it. I mean, we still got Apple. Apple's now almost 50 cents. I mean, it just keeps on bouncing. The last couple outs were VWAP right there. I want to check out DraftKings a little bit, DKNG, because I was on that name yesterday, and then it was like, wah, we have news. And then unfortunately, we were short. Oh, man, too bad that's where it is right now. We were short yesterday right here on this break lower of 42.80, so it's coming back into that level. Might be something to look out there on DraftKings if we get back up to 43. So yesterday we had that Penn news that obviously we were not expecting. You can't be in news when there's a buyout potential or at least a partnership in one of the competitors revaluing their business. So that's not great for us. But DraftKings right now, I like that trade breaking back down through 43. Let's just keep on holding Apple, man. Honestly, this has been a good trade for us. Let's see if we can get back into the 50 period and into VWAP again. We do have another bid down here at 210.76. For that Apple. All right, anything else you're looking at there, Obi? Because right now, DraftKings, Apple, Palantir, maybe a little bit of a reload there. And if there's anything else anybody wants to talk about, NEE also could be something. This is a big stock. I've seen a lot of people talk about this one. Chamath versus Cathie Wood. Yeah. I mean, I don't know which wealth destroyer you like more, but for me, Cathie Wood's ARK is down 14% this year. How is it? You would think like, how is that even possible? So I would think that Cathie's probably a little bit of a winner in that one if you're counting negatives. But let's go over to Adara.
Tesla here right now, basically flat on the day, but seeing this circulate around X here. Elon Musk posting 3 minutes ago, quote, "The super strong support from retail and large investors meant a lot to me. I will do my utmost to ensure that their faith is rewarded." So Elon Musk speaking a little bit here on X with regards to the retail support and large investor support for that Tesla shareholder meeting last week, guys.
Yeah, that was, did you see part of that meeting there?
Did not.
He's a little excited, definitely. Some interesting. What do you think about the Optimus? Those robots.
Yeah, Brendan and I already have the pre-orders in for those.
Nice.
Yeah. We just got, as long as they're doing household chores, that's what we're all about, you know, and eventually maybe take our dog for a walk and things like that. That's what I'm thinking. I like the idea. I mean, the thing about this is when you're talking about Elon, you're definitely talking about a different beast, and we all know that, right? So sort of the forward look there, I think we're a long ways away from getting any robots into everyday households, plus let alone the cost of them. But yeah, I'm excited for the future for all tech. And I think Tesla has a great opportunity. They have all the AI. They have one of the smartest guys around, honestly, no matter what you think about him. He's been pretty revolutionary in what he's built for us, including, you know, everything, Starlink, and hopefully this robo-taxi thing can change sort of the way Ubers and how we all transport and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, I'm a Tesla bull. Yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have a little bit of a soft spot for Tesla, and I guess Elon as well, as he is, again, attempting to change the world in many different ways, in his own way, I guess. But yeah, no, batteries, cars, energy, space,
he took a risk,
travel.
like, you know, he stepped it up. He put his own, I mean, you want to talk about taking a risk and like respecting people. It's just like, look at that pay package. You know, like, I'll take nothing but stock, and let's look at this in a couple years. Boom, 40 billion or whatever it turned out to be at the end of the day. And the stock has really reacted quite nicely right now over the last couple of days. But, you know, still headwinds there for Tesla, including, of course, more competition in China, and then even more competition abroad or locally with, domestically is the word I'm looking for, with GM and Ford, and then, you know, Fisker's gone bye-bye now. We'll see if Rivian can make it. Rivian, of course, having plants now in Georgia with different models. So I think that's the next step really for Tesla, is to get that lower model coming through. But I don't know if Elon is a vegetarian or not, but he's probably not eating chicken. I mean, you know, Apple. I mean, if I could do stink face. Oh, you know what I'm excited for? Moana 2, by the way.
Oh, there's a second one coming up?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Look, I am bullish.
First one wasn't too bad.
I am bullish on Disney, man. I thought Moana was one of the best ones because it is such an empowering show for the female. You know, like, she's just like, I'm Moana, and what? Like, I'm solving all of this my damn self. Forget about Maui. You know what I'm saying? Like, The Rock is there. He sings all these nice songs. But shout out to Disney for making Moana. It's one of the favorites of our families. So we like that one. And then Inside Out. Like, I had no idea how good that was until I saw it. And then also setting records. Like, how is Inside Out already the number one animated movie of all time?
Really?
Beating all the Toy Stories, Shrek, all these. I know.
Hey, I didn't
Despicable
know that.
Me's. I don't even know what number 2 is. I think it was probably one of the Toy Stories, probably.
Yeah.
One of the top ones. But yeah, Inside Out 2, definitely a good one. I don't want to.
I've seen the first one. The first one was good. Yeah.
So basically, she now goes to high school and introduces new emotions. So you can imagine high school.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't want to. It's pretty fun if you go with your friend. I don't know if you want to go with your friends or not. It's more of a kids movie, but I was gonna say if you want to go with your kids, it's a good one there. So, all right, that's it for me. So we've already done it good on Apple there, and now we will continue to see what's up. I did miss that Ramin, whatever that was, but I will comment.
She's saying to take my cats.
Oh, take
my cats to
She's so ruthless over there, Ramin. You know, she's a ruthless one.
Thanks,
one.
Ramin.
Yeah, ever since she's been here now.
Only one of them watches movies.
Yeah, I know, Ramin. Get it straight. You know, now that Ramin's been here 1 year and 1 day, you know, she's like the boss of everything now. All right. What did you do? What didn't you do is the question. All right. So, by the way, Sharif brought Neil and Apple Fritter, it's yours now.
Yeah, Sharif was nice enough to, in the morning, he brought in, he's like, oh, you're in. I was like, yeah, Neil's not in today. And he's like, oh, I brought him an apple fritter. I was like, wow, okay, cool. I'll take it in his place.
Professor.
You know? So right here, shout out. I haven't yet finished it, but yeah, Ramin wants to go half-seas. I'm down, whatever, that's fine. I'm not willing to eat the whole thing. It's a lot of, definitely a lot of sugar for me, but it's a good snack. It's a good snack, for sure.
Wow, what's so shady? I don't know, man. BPI over there.
Yeah, what are you saying? What's wrong with the sugar?
They're making fun of your sugar comment
okay.
there. I agree, man. I think to have a whole, this is me just getting older, but like a whole big ass apple fritter is a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
You'll be on cloud 9 for that one, but you deserve it, Obi. You should have the whole damn thing, Obi. There we go. Give some to these guys over here.
I'm not saying I can't.
These guys are loving
hey,
life
if you
back
guys
here.
want some, just say something.
They are loving life back over there.
Yeah.
Okay. They're worried about your health. They're worried about your health.
True. Yeah,
Get that
I
digestive
gotta get these
system.
abs going too. You know?
Yeah, man. Start doing some sit-ups. What are you even doing on the show? Okay. You want to go over your trade a little bit? If your targets, anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, kind
it
of
doesn't
like
really matter.
it's chopping and churning at some of these levels. Opening price is 127. We are trading below that 127, and again, we keep magneting up into that VWAP there. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I am giving it quite an aggressive width in terms of risk there, but again, I will be a little bit more patient. But the thing is, I'm not necessarily respecting the VWAP sellers that have been showing themselves over and over again. And with the market pulling back off of that 20,000, then we may be poised for a little bit of a push down as well. But again, I'm kind of just waiting to see if some of these levels come in. But yeah, my hand is on the trigger for sure. But before that, we're going to pass it over for Crypto Watch.
Interesting note here for crypto, having outflows. Sharif was mentioning this one this morning as well on this desk, but we actually $900 million in outflows this week for these BTC ETFs, and the 5th straight day for outflows for the BTC ETFs, that coming in on Thursday. This is actually the worst performance for these ETFs since mid-April, and Bitcoin actually hitting its lowest level since mid-May. So lots of weakness in the BTC ETF space here. As you can see here in Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days to the downside here. Continuing here, trying to hold at this previous level. A little bit of resistance here around that 64 level. Currently trading slightly below 64,000, sorry, just above 64,000 depending on what you're looking at here. So 64,067 for BTC right now, down about 1.5%. Ethereum faring a little bit better, down about 0.5%. Trying to hold on to this 3,500 level. A lot of weakness generally here in these crypto-related names, and the ones that aren't super weak are basically flat. We have Dogecoin slightly positive, Avalanche up about 2%, Tron up 1 2/3%, but some weakness here in BNB, Solana, Ripple, and Cardano amongst others. So bit of an interesting name, kind of mixed for the crypto space right now, guys.
So some moves.
All right.
What's happening in?
Yeah, we talked about crypto being a little bit of a.
Right?
Yeah, it's just bouncing off 6-4 right now. All right, I kind of just said a joke there before we left. I was like, okay, I'm buying every dip on Nvidia, and it hasn't worked until now. And then it went up 30 cents, and I took out a 20% of what I had there, and then now it just came right back in again. So I'm going to try to buy some more at 125. Look, I'm going to sort of channel my inner hold now and see if we can't hold it until a 124, even lower than that. We had looked at Nvidia before, and I know our charts, I can't go back too much further than this because this is sort of where we split off. But this 123 area was something that we wanted to look at. The nervous part about this is that wick down. I feel like you got to hold out for that, which is 122.60. So realistically, if you're going to average into this price, you're going to have a target out. So for me, I'm not going to wait for 122.50. That's too long. I'm just going to give 124 a shot. If it breaks 124, maybe a couple pennies lower than that, maybe when I say a couple pennies, it's got to be relative to the stock. So maybe 20 cents. That might not even matter to Nvidia. Like when Nvidia broke 125 the first time and we made back. So basically on Nvidia, we made back what we lost there, but then we got stopped out right there. So now we're just trying to see about the long off of 125. So right now we're long 125.60. We tried to buy that dip there, but we weren't sitting aggressively enough. By the time we got there, it was too late. So if it does fade out, we will have that. But we still do have an awesome trade on Apple right now is $1 in the money. As that just came, that's Apple. That just came right back. Now that I look at this, don't hit the awesome key and don't get out. So there we go. We put another out for us right there because, again, we're coming back into the range low for Apple. We really like this. Make sure you check out the Freedom Wealth podcast, by the way. We have by far our best one releasing tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
The Freedom and the Wealth podcast coming through tomorrow.
What are you guys talking about on that?
Discipline and what that takes, some great ideas. Brendan gave a real good story there about something that he did this past weekend involving brisket.
Ooh, yes.
So you don't want to miss it for the brisket, and that was a good talk there as well. But so it's a good one. Definitely some stories about our families and whatnot in there, and we just noticed that there's a lot of people want to hear more stories. So we're gonna do that and keep up the good vibes there with that. Do you know that Apple and Nvidia are pretty much at the same price? Look at this, 210.60s right there, and then Nvidia at 125.60. So I was like, what stock am I looking at right now? But let's go back up to the upside. I do now have no more offers except for 126. That's not enough. Let's get back up here, 126.30. How about that? Let's put an offer 126.30 here on Nvidia. See if we get a nice little push here through 126, and maybe we bought the bottom finally here. Long right now, 125.70, 40 cents in the money now. But again, with the volatility, Obi, like it just broke 126 and fell right back in again.
Back in. Like it seems like it's holding like the moving average here.
I like that idea. Yeah.
I'm looking at the moving average on a 3-minute chart here, just the 8 MA. It's starting to ride that a little bit there. 40 pennies back down off of that 126 test. So very, very volatile there as it comes right in. So definitely, I guess players that are playing the moving average are kind of winning on this ticker here today. So 21s are holding, 8's a little bit tighter. We keep watching the 8 a little bit. Right there, the 8 was just at 126, and we come right into it, and we get that aggressive selling back down. But something to note as well is the NQs. The NQs are attempting to push a little bit lower there. So let's see how interesting this 126 kind of stays there. Apple's still holding that that 210 mark on Apple. Not really watching anything too else, and my focus is mainly on this Nvidia trade, looking for a potential bounce back towards that VWAP and potentially through it as well. But again, I know I am definitely counter-trending, say it like it is, against the VWAP sellers that have been so dominant off of the open there. So definitely, if you were kind of observing that action and selling along with the VWAP sellers there, you definitely got some strong wins there. A couple points off of that VWAP multiple times over. 28 off of the open, 27s as of right now, and 26s coming right back in on Nvidia. So let's see if the market kind of wicks. We are technically making a higher low relative to this 125 where that size kind of went in, and we could not even get that close to that 125. So let's see what we do with this 126. Again, that moving average which was holding as of right now, the 8 moving average I'm using on a 3-minute, right there, holding quite cleanly for the past few bars. Now we have gone past VWAP a little bit earlier. I see here at the 10:15 candle, only about 15 minutes ago, before we kind of started riding down this moving average. Apple with another bid back towards that VWAP as well. Are you doing anything on Apple? You're short Apple too.
I'm just going.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Apple's been a good one. We've sort of been getting out of it. We're 50 cents in the money, but we've been playing off that 210.50 area. So I'm with you, man. I want Nvidia to rip. We're long now, 50 cents in the money or so. Sorry, 40 cents in the money on Apple. So USO's starting to go to the high side right now. We get some news on oil. There's a strike. I just saw this with XOM. French port, something remains striking right now. XOM comes out and says that there could be a sort of a lack of supply of certain oil products, refining. I don't know why they're speaking like that, but there goes USO, nicely done, upside right now, 20 cents going for USO. Just to check in on XOM quickly. Man, it keeps on fading at 126, man. That's stupid.
Yeah,
Nvidia, go, my guy. There it is right now. So XOM riding that 50-period moving average. We like the stock for sure down there. So let's see if it gets another bump, but maybe breaking through this high again on a 20-minute chart. It's just a daily high. We haven't been here in a minute. We were just at 108 2 days ago. Nice move back to 112. I know Randy likes XOM. We could talk to him why. He looks at rig count and things like that. So that could be something to look at. Oh yeah, I saw someone say, let's go Tesla right now in the chat. Shout out to you guys there as well. Please, Nvidia, put a tight stop loss. Okay, why, brothers? I mean, I don't have a tight stop on Nvidia right now. I don't have too many shares. I'm waiting for a 124 bid, like 124.50 for Nvidia. Maybe if we can get that, we'll start to load it up. I'm just kind of messing around a little bit with it right now. Tesla's a good call, and I'll tell you why, because I missed it. I was actually waiting for this breakout. It was very, very much neutral here, not doing anything all day. Had a great move to the high side to 184. I looked at yesterday's sticky note. We wrote down 184, so we know that that's a level of interest. We could have looked at it again on a day 2 look, but 184 was the top. It looks like it broke through VWAP right now. And again, if the market, I just don't want to go against the market. I know that we're long Nvidia. I feel like we've talked about why. Tesla's probably, if Tesla can come back to the 50-period moving average in the middle of this range, then I'll buy it. But I really like Tesla's strength here. Up 0.5% with NASDAQ trying to hold lower. I think this is a good stock, man. I mean, Tesla back to 182, 180, 150. I really, really like that long. All right, there it is. So we talked about trying to buy the 125s. We missed it the last time. It fell back in. We'll add to this right now. I'm taking a longer term approach on Nvidia, just thinking that down 4 or 5%. Obviously, that's not ideal for anybody holding the long, but we've bounced off these levels. I want to play sort of the wick there. We had that huge move, 20 million shares. So that's going to be a little bit off-putting just to look at the candles. There's the largest sell candle of the day, breaking through 125, and we were like, oh my. And that was a big move. So there's the reload there. We're now long at 125.50 on Nvidia. Let's see if it can get higher, man. Maybe we'll take some out at 126 this time.
Yeah, that 25 holding as of right now, that rebid. Who was that? Somebody in the chat was like, keep a tight stop, and then literally 10 seconds later, some aggressive selling comes in. That's very interesting. But VWAP still holding on the Apple as Apple comes right into VWAP. But we're gonna go off to Darrow for Sector Watch.
We had more of a mixed picture here in electronic technology. Apple, Cisco, TXN to the upside, but Nvidia and Micron notably weak, and some of their semiconductor peers also trading a little bit lower here, Qualcomm, Broadcom, and AMD. So this sector is still very interesting. Also weak is producer manufacturing. We do have a bit of weakness as well in finance, with JP Morgan down about 1.5% right now. Some other sectors a little bit more mixed include retail, trade, and technology. Oh, keep an eye on both, tech services. Google and Amazon both higher here. Yesterday, their Anthropic, which is a AI startup they've both invested in, announcing an update to their Claude 3.5 AI. So interesting look there. Lots of strength as well in consumer non-durables, energy, minerals, utilities, health technology, and consumer services. McDonald's here up about 2.5%, announcing their $5 value meal, saying that they want to win the value meal war. So MCD, an interesting one here, guys.
Yeah,
that $5
meal. That should be interesting.
Do we have that here? I didn't even notice.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Like a meal at McDonald's costs like almost $20 now, which is like.
That's why I thought like a Big Mac was like $11.99.
I remember back in the day you could get like
2 for $10.
Yeah, you could get like a full meal for like under $10.
Oh, back in the day, Obi. Back in the day,
yes.
when things were so much better.
Well, I don't know. They're just different now.
No, you always hear that. I don't think they were any better back in the day at all. But today will be a green day for us, and we're pretty proud of that. So, so far so good here as Apple trying to pull in again right back here. I feel that we should probably just get another piece out and just be responsible with our outs in a day that's been pretty choppy here. A pullback in. We did not reload this. I'm waiting for a little bit higher. It seems like Apple's going to be stronger than the market today. So any pullbacks into the 50 period, we should have just stopped reminiscing and got out. But we do have a bid now at 210.80 just to make that back. We should have had a bid at 65 there, but we'll take that back in. And then what a reload right there. Another fill. Look at Nvidia. We just made $1 on that reload right there. So there it is, man. And again, go buy. like, please judge Obi and I by how nice individuals we are, because sometimes our trades will be hard to follow but easy to explain. So, like, Obi's talked about holding on, waiting for these bigger moves, looking at a bigger picture. That's going to be one style. Like Obi, you know how many fills I have on Nvidia so far?
Oh boy.
60.
Yeah, no,
60 fills on Nvidia so far.
I've got, I think I've taken 20 trades, so 20 fills, I guess.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's actually,
bad.
I'm pretty impressed with that. It's actually a lot. All right, so there it is, man. And so far, look at this. We are going to have a big day here. It'll be a good day. It'll be a trophy day, but the boys behind us really aren't trading too much as we all sort of wait for that big volume to come in there into the close and see if there is a bigger move in the NASDAQ. And I don't blame anybody for holding on to that, especially if you are at real trading, because as many of you know, we have risk parameters to follow, and you don't want to take a bad trade here on Nvidia and then lose out for that big flush that may or may happen near the end of the day, and or vice versa. So, yeah, so that's what it's all about, and I feel that everybody needs to be, their plan of action respected, because as that one book that I did listen to, I don't want to say read. One good trade is all it takes, Obi, and if you can find that, and then you just pile it on, right? One good trade, then another good trade, then another good trade, and the next thing you know, you have multiple good trades. And so far today, we've had some decent ones here, including now $1 in the money on Nvidia and $1. We're only in two positions, both are $1 in the money. So let's see if Apple can fade out and Nvidia can continue its rise up here a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So we broke past that 126 as of right now. Now we're like, I was watching that 8 on the 3 minute, and then now we tested that 21 on the 3 minute. Now again, I don't necessarily use these indicators to potentially take entries, but if the ticker is following it, I kind of understand that, like, all right, there might be players, other participants, whether that be actual like physical participants or algos or whatnot, kind of potentially following that parameter there. So I do keep an eye out for that, because sometimes it does follow it quite nicely there. Very clean trends that are defined by moving averages. So they're good indicators in that sense, but I almost never kind of use them as an entry. But I guess if you see that it is following it, you could potentially use it as like a decision-making point. But that's not necessarily something that I like to do. But again, it's just something to keep in mind, right? So it's like, okay, if that's a pattern that's happening, what's going to happen if that pattern breaks? Have we built a picture into said pattern kind of forming, and then that can give you a perspective on potential traps to see that, okay, certain players were winning, now they're not. So it's like, it kind of helps me with the price action scalps. But again, risk to reward, I don't think I'm making the best decisions as of right now. But again, kind of working, massaging into the position, into the size that I really want to get in to for a potential VWAP test and potential breakthrough that 127. But again, that could all just be hope. But what we did see with the limited information that we did see was that significant amount of volume going through at that 125, and also at the upside, significant VWAP sellers that kind of come in off of the open, and it kind of later on as well, in and around that 10:30 mark ish as of right now. 10:46 happening on right now, but before that, we're going to pass it over to Money.
Not Money Talks quite yet, but we do have some news here on Shopify. Keep an eye out here. SHOP, this is circulating a little bit on Twitter. Apparently on June 24th, 2024, they've announced on their website on June 24th, they're going to be getting their Summer 24 edition started here. So it's going to be including 150 new product updates and features for the most intuitive, powerful, and unified Shopify yet. So SHOP announcing some updates for June 24th. Keep an eye on Shopify, guys.
All right, glad to see Obi trading good size there on Nvidia. That's great to see. So good job, Obi. Let's see what winds up happening there, and good explanation of the trade and what you're looking for. So shout out to Obi. It's great to have him here for sure. All right, so there it is, $1 in Nvidia as well. Obi and I are here, man. We're in the building. We do have what's for lunch. Let's do that now. All right, Obi. I don't know if you like pasta or not. Do you like pasta?
I like pasta.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then today might be a day for you. So let's go. Awesome. As today is pretty exciting. It's one of my favorite pastas. It's the penne.
Okay.
You know, I like the penne. I like the little rigatoni as well. I mean, I'm all about everything there. All right, but today is a little pasta bolognese with some garlic bread. So shout out to what is for lunch. You do not want to barbecue up your pasta, although I saw some stupid TikTok of some idiot doing that. But right there, that is what's for lunch. Penne bolognese. You're on TikTok, No, Marissa showed me and says, what the hell is this? Some guy put some... He was barbecuing up some spaghetti or something. I was just like, this guy is ridiculous. What has happened with this world? And right there, they should shut TikTok down just for that reason. But here we go back up to the upside. Well, you know what? I take that back. You know, if you're on a power outage and you don't have proper cooking, you know, a lot of people use their barbecues for, you know, put a little bit. But the idea was he wasn't using it as, like, he didn't put like a pot on the barbecue. He was he was like rolling them and just like, it was really ridiculous in my opinion, but there it is, man. Yeah, we'll have the salad, so you can actually have Neil's salad.
Yes.
If you want. Yeah. So a little bit more of a healthy option, as these guys behind you, both Jag and Patrick, were bugging you about your sugar intake.
They just want the apple fritter. I think that's
I noticed
what
that.
it is.
I noticed that.
They want
that.
All right, Ramin says she has dibs, but
yeah, they got to tear it from Ramin's dead hands. Cold dead hands. You're not. I'm saying that's the only way they're getting the apple fritter from you.
That's what that means. Yeah. What?
It's a saying. You got to pry that from your cold dead hands.
Yes.
What is even going on here?
It's like saying like I would rather be dead before I give it to you, kind of thing. Yeah.
Ramin in my ear is like, I'm not dead. I'm alive.
She took quite some offense to that.
Really? I'm just trying to.
All right, so here comes the market raging back up to 20,000 there, and as I try to protect this apple fritter along with this position and my mental,
you might have to protect it with your cold dead hands.
Yeah, maybe. But here comes
yes,
26
I want that,
as of
Fabian,
right now.
immediately.
2680s is a VWAP. So again, I guess maybe third time's a charm. Let's see if those VWAP sellers are potentially still there with that 20,000. It seems like that kind of those sellers are confident.
Here we go.
With that 20,000 right there. But before that, what does Sean have to show?
This money gun. You know, you just fire this off.
We need one of those.
There's a fun thing about with Jerome Powell there, as he there's a gif of him just firing off this money can in there, and it's like just a printer like that. That'd be funny every time. Well, you know what? We don't need that for the show. We need that for Powell. Like every time he's on the stand there.
The reversion man himself.
The reversion man himself, killing it. All right, there's Nvidia, man. Good hold on that one as we get back up to 126.50. Now, Ramin, it's time for someone talking about something, and it's money talk with Adara.
DXY continuing to grind higher, pouncing off on the daily chart here of that 104 level that served to support quite a few times. Right now, we're actually just below 106, 105.85. So good look for the DXY here. We've got some economic data prints today, S&P Global Services and Global Composite PMI for June, both coming in higher than the estimate. So 55.1 versus 55.3 expected for Global Services PMI, 54.6 slightly above 54.5 estimate, or sorry, 54.5 prior for the Global Composite PMI. Home sales here coming in at 4.11 million versus the estimate of 4.08 million. Home price is actually apparently hitting a record high. So just looking here for some of these home sales related numbers. We also did get the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI 51.7, versus the estimate of 51. No Fed speak here to wrap up the week. So this is the main thing we're going to be seeing here. But come early on Monday, we're going to be getting Fed speaks from Fed's Waller to kick everything back up to end this month of June. Right now, though, just continuing to push higher here in the DXY, guys.
Dixie's moving around a little bit
DXY,
there. I've been watching it more often. I remember there was that one time, first time you mentioned it, that you were like, "Obi, you should probably watch the Dixie." And I have since then I have put it on my daily kind of scan.
Nice.
So I do watch it. I know it's kind of chopping and trending around that 105 mark there. But what are your takes on like how you observe the Dixie for?
I mean, I just kind of watch it to see
trades or kind of like position management.
Yeah, I mean, me and you talked about looking at it because of, you know, how it was moving and stuff like that. But you know what? I mean, right now, the way these tech stocks are bouncing around, I just feel like you want to kind of buy all these dips up a little bit in the names and, you know, stay long. Obviously, a stronger U.S. dollar is what we're looking for there in the market, because a stronger U.S. dollar helps these guys repatriate back in. Okay. Just real quick here, we did take some out. I know we're talking about a lot of the same names here, but I just took Nvidia out at VWAP. You and I had talked over and over again about VWAP and that we had the VWAP seller in there. Yep. It did break temporarily up to 127, and I was all for that break, man. I wanted that to print for you, but as you can see right now, it is struggling just a little bit to get through that. It's bounced off its head a couple times. I still believe in the trade, but we will take a piece off. And yeah, Y Brothers United, I just saw you in the chat there. Or no, sorry, Donnie Zimbabwe, that's who it was. Thank you again for the $10, man. CRM calls, great. I mean, I haven't looked at CRM. We could do that. I mean, if you're in the calls, obviously you're looking at it. You just need Nvidia. I don't know which way you need it. It's kind of just barcoding right now between 127, 125. We'll see. Probably not worth printing for you. Nvidia's going to need to move, I assume, because I would think that the price that you'd pay on the options would be extended because of the moves recently. So Nvidia probably been disappointing a little bit today. And then you're on Apple 25 calls. Hey man, Apple is my #1 stock. Please do not be sorry about anything there. Apple can rip and it wouldn't really matter. We only have less than 10% left of this position. I still will go short against 212, but I'm not getting in until 1180. So we'll wait on Apple, and I'll hope that you, Donnie, will also be able to put some money in your pocket on that trade. So congratulations on that, hopefully for you on Apple. And that's about it for me, man. I'm not trying to set the world on fire here. We definitely missed my missed trade of the day would be Palantir down there at 24. But I feel responsible about how I traded it because we wanted 24.50. We gave it to 24.25. It wound up breaking, or 35, whatever that price is, 25s, wounds up breaking twice. We tried it once, we got out for 5 cents. We tried again, we got out for 5 cents. Net, that's a 10-cent hit, plus a little bit here, which wasn't much. But that 24 was a good trade. So, you know, probably could have done a little bit better there. But after that, all good so far today. It'll be a green day, and I know it'll be similar for that for you. So let's see if Nvidia can get that movement back up to the upside for you, Obi. And when we all get back, maybe a short on the TQs could be something that people want to play there off of 20,000. Let's see what this market wants to do. I'm not reshorting Apple until 1180. And then DraftKings was the other play at 43 that we wanted to look at. Didn't get going. Ever since we talked about the short, it just fell about 40 cents there. So DraftKings right now not in my purview, but GME always is, Obi. But that's not there yet. Again, to 23.50 is where I'm sitting right now. So if that comes in, we'll get long on GameStop at 23.50. Only 4 minutes left.
Wow, the time has kind of flown there. So yeah, that 20 thou, I do like that. Seems like a bit of a magnet since the open, since we kind of wicked right back into it, and then wicked back off of it. So it seems like it is continuing to stay a bit of a level of interest there. And Apple pushing past its VWAP as of right now. People in the chat were talking about how ARM was the actual trade of the day. So I'm just going to pull that up and see what is up with ARM. So yeah, ARM did kind of break through its VWAP through some of its pre-market highs. Some strength happening there off of a dip. Can't even get to 150s as the low of day is 151.37 there on ARM. So yeah, good look there on ARM. I do have kind of like my tech or chip basket here. I watch Nvidia, AMD, Intel, SMCI, SMH, TSM, Nvidia, of course. But yeah, no, kind of Intel, we were talking about Intel earlier today. Intel kind of giving back some of its gains there. Everything else kind of relatively sideways. SMCI is attempting to push back towards, it tried to get back through its opening price there. What is the opening price here on SMCI? If I can get that. The opening price is 910, and it's trading right at that 900 as of right now. So 900, maybe potentially a little bit of an interesting area. Prior day low as well on SMCI. So let's see, with a little bit of strength there. let's see what Nvidia kind of does going into the midday session there. The morning session, shorts did win quite nicely, but that 125 along has been holding and pushing right back up into VWAP multiple times over. And I saw somebody in the chat saying that, yeah, Nvidia might just chop sideways all day. And yeah, I know that's definitely a possibility. After like a very strong leg, either to the upside or to the downside, maybe we take a break and consolidate. Again, it's a Friday, but again, with some of these rebalances coming in, maybe we are poised for a little bit of volatility as well. With what was it, Apple with a sell and Nvidia with a buy imbalance apparently. So let's see if those things come into fruition in terms of the intraday price action. If not, they might come in on the close for a closing trade. So gotta stay a little patient and watch for that. But yeah, Apple sideways. A lot of these tickers just sideways, a little indecisive. I'm watching Dell as well. Dell kind of has been on watch over the past few weeks. Again, with the CEO saying that this time kind of reminds him of the internet bubble. Take a look at that V-shaped recovery on Dell. So a couple days ago they had a bit of an upgrade, and then the CEO was talking, and I think we were doing right here. We were doing some significant RVOL. Here comes 127 on Nvidia. So are the VWAP sellers still there is the question that I'm asking. Where is VWAP? 126.80. So we are extending about 30 pennies past where that VWAP is. This is about the 200 moving, not the 200 moving, the 50 moving on Nvidia here. So prior highs coming in at 127.30s there. So let's see what we do with that 127.30s here on Nvidia. If we kind of break that back through the opening prices potentially, let's see if that can come in. But yeah, no, Dell has been an interesting look, giving lots of opportunities both ways there, Sean.
Props up.
Props.
All right, man. Look, we talk about this. Sort of all the traders behind us right now, me and Obi are, we're right there. So, again, congratulations, Obi, for putting those numbers up. And it just makes me feel good that, sitting beside you and you're being able to do this. That is absolutely fantastic right now. So we've got
to sit beside you.
You should. Hey, you want this spot? We can negotiate that. I mean, we got. Neil might be a little bit upset. Then we got to figure out what happens on the midday show.
I mean, I'm down for. What if we got like 3 tables?
Now you want to be a 3? Okay, Obi.
That would be cool.
Okay, well, we don't have that necessarily in the budget, but we'll figure that out. Yeah. Now he's just like, okay, look, I'm putting up these numbers right now. No, look, everybody in the chat loves you, Obi, and the thing is,
I don't know.
No, you're taking the trades.
That reminds me.
Oh yeah, that luck thing.
I do have to correct myself. I kept on saying Socrates.
That's right, you did.
I do apologize. It's not Socrates. It is Seneca who said that.
There we go.
I get that.
Yeah, I knew that I didn't want to correct you, so I just felt
okay.
bad about
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was
Seneca. Even before.
Duh. I mean, that was an easy one, but yeah, okay. Right there, no. Shout out to Obi.
Here comes 128. Let's see what.
Let's go, Obi. I mean, right now we'll fire off the hot tech. We're 250 in the money on an Nvidia ourselves.
Price action.
And right now Obi's killing it with that one. We're long Nvidia right now at 125.20 right now. As there it goes, man. Congrats, Obi. Congrats to everybody who has lifted a trophy at some point, because we're doing it over here today. So here we go, man. It's a good day today. Congrats, Obi. Congrats to everybody for watching. Congrats for watching. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And we will see you guys back here just after 2 p.m. But for now, we do have the midday show, and it's Midday Madness, and it is Adara and Sharif. See you later. Good job, Obi.
See ya.
Oh, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as that Midday Show. Ram had me there. That is your girl Adara.